And here we go, it's round number 10 of the season and we are in Japan. Now at the end of this round, the two lowest placed teams will be eliminated. Currently in the bottom two places are Kenya and Japan. So this will be their very last chance to save themselves to make it for at least another 2 rounds. Because after the end of this round, the bottom 2 teams will be eliminated. At the end of the 12th round, the next 2 teams will be eliminated, giving our final 20 for the final 4 races of the season. Who's going to make the final 20? Who will be the 4 teams that will be eliminated? Without further ado, let's get to the first pre-qualifying session in the F1 division. And here we go, it is the pre-qualifying session here in Japan for the F1 division, and we've already got a couple of cars out already eager to set the benchmark for everyone to try and beat. And the first person to go out is Jane Shaw. Of course, going into this round, Japan and Kenya are at risk of elimination. So this is Jane Shaw and Ian Duncan's last chance to save Kenya from being knocked out. If both of these drivers fail to pre-qualify, or if both Japanese drivers fail to pre-qualify, then that is them eliminated. They need to make it to need to have at least one driver to make it to the race to give them a fighting chance to survive at the end of this round. If those 4 drivers don't make it through either pre-qualifying or group qualifying, that's both those teams out. So let's see what the benchmark is going to be from Jane Shaw, and will he be able to make it past pre-qualifying? Can his teammate Ian Duncan do the same? And he's got a few cars left to go before he starts his flying lap here in Japan. As we make our way to the, well, quite a tight hairpin. Well, very tight that the front wheels are not spinning, for sure. But here we go, coming towards the final corner, and that will be Jane Shaw starting his flying lap. Still got a couple of drivers in the pit still. They must be feeling very confident that they're going to breeze through pre-qualifying. And in fact, that's Jane Shaw's team behind me, Ian Duncan. So that came out second. So both Kenyans will be the first drivers to set a benchmark time for everyone else to try and beat, interestingly enough. And here goes Jane Shaw making it down to one of the long straights of this track. 21.6 is his time in sector 1. I imagine that hairpin is going to be a nightmare in the actual race because how tight it can be, so hopefully it might not cause too much drama, but I think it might cause a wee bit. As Jane Shaw makes his way down the second sector of this track. And what is Jane Shaw going to be able to pull off here? As we wait to find out what his time is in sector 2. 49.1 is his time, which seems like a pretty good time. We'll see how that compares to everyone else as Jane Shaw is making his way down to the third and final sector of this track. Got 2 hairpins to go. As all 12 drivers for the track, of course, bottom 2 don't make it through pre-qualifying. And here we go, coming towards the final corner for Jane Shaw, and what is his benchmark time going to be? It's a 1:19.5, as we've got 3 drivers who are doing complete the flying laps. And we've got Philip Street's been the fastest, 1:17.5, John Jones 1:17.8, Jane Shaw 1:19.5, Ian Duncan 1:19.8. So the 2 Ks are the slowest so far that have completed time. We've got Alan Prost 1:17.6, so nearly 10 slower than his teammate. Jose Celsi of Chile 1:17.8 is his time. So 6 drivers have set a time. We're just waiting for the other 6 to set their times, as we're still got 6.5 minutes left of the session to go. We'll see how it all plays out. We've got Solveig go across the start finish line. And it's Hannah McCullough, 1:17.1, fastest man in this group so far. And then Joachim Mass of West Germany, 1:16.6. Of course, no points for fastest times in pre-qualifying. It's just don't be the bottom 2 driver at the end. And we got Yujiro Tereda of Japan, the other team that's in danger of elimination, 1:30.0. So Tereda, really good time there for Japan. 3 drivers still yet to set a time in this group, as we've got less than 6 minutes of the session left to go. Jay Shaw's coming to the pits, Ian Duncan's pitting as well. As we've got Louis Paris Sala 1:18 exactly. That doesn't seem a very quick time. So we got Ian Duncan now in the bubble as 2 drivers are still yet to set a time. And Ricciardo 180.2, so that is Ian Duncan officially in the danger zone of being knocked out pre-qualifying. As we still waiting for one person, and it's John Gray 180.7. So we got both Kenyans in danger. If they both go out, then that's Kenya out for the rest of the season. This is not good, especially they're the only 2 drivers to be over 119. So John Graham in the bubble with a 118.7, still on the track. He might be coming to the pits though. Half a tenth slower than Joe Mass in this first sector. Watching out for Eugene Tereda, still second, but he's coming to the pits now. As we're halfway to the session now, 5 minutes left to go, and yep, Tereda's pitting. Philip Streif in sector 2, 2 tenths down, might be faster than Tereda if he completes this lap. As watch out for the 2 Ks, see if they'll come back on the track. Or they're going to leave it till the end. We've got someone just coming out of the pits though. I'm not sure who it is. Oh, that's coming out. Philly Street's in the pits now. Oh, it's John Jones for Canada staying out. Louis Parasal improved this time 117.9 is in 8th position. As we've got nearly everyone in the pits now. We've got, this will be Alan Proska across the line, does not improve his time, stays 5th. And John Graves in the pits now. And so we're going to have 4 people on the track: Mass, Prost, Jones, and Parasala. Everyone else in the pits at the moment, as we've got 4 minutes of the session left to go. The Kenyan drivers might need to start thinking about coming back out. As we've got a couple of people coming out of the pits. Well, actually, we've got quite a few coming out of the pits now. Okay, Jay Shaw's coming out. Ian Duncan's also coming out, so they've got to see if they can try and get themselves out of the bottom 2 positions. Try and keep Kenya's hope alive here. Eugene Tereda in a pretty good position though, still second fastest in qualifying, so it looks like at least one Japanese driver is going to make it to group qualifying, which is good news for Japan, but it's really bad news for Kenya at the moment as things stand. As we're nearly coming to the 3-minute mark, keep our eyes on you, Duncan and Jay Shaw for the time being, because this could be the last time we see them, last session we'll see them this season. Shaw's making his way down sector 2 with Ian Duncan right behind him. And then we've got the hairpin coming up, the tight hairpin coming up next. I think that's Mercaldi ahead, who's in 9th at the moment. As we've got a few other people coming out of the pits, probably to give their last performance, just in case they might end up in the bottom 2 positions. Well, John Graham is still in the pits at the moment. I think he's feeling confident he'll make it through. As Jay Shaw starts his flying lap, and so is Ian Duncan. So James Shaw, as we'll go on board with him, as he's going down sector 1. What can James Shaw do here? 21.2 is the time to be. Going down sector 1, James Shaw is going to be 7/10 off in sector 1, so quite a bit off the pace looks like already. But it could still be good enough to beat John Graham though. Well, John Graham's on the track now. As James Shaw is making his way down sector 2. 47.8 is the time to beat. James Shaw is going to be over for sure. And he is going to be 2 seconds off the pace, 2.1 seconds off the pace. It will be enough to improve, but oh man, this is not looking too hot for James Shaw at the moment. He seems to be considerably off the pace here. James Shaw has got 1 corner left to go. And what is his time going to be? Is it going to be better than his best time at the moment? Hammer Cole 160.9, proves his time goes to second. James Shaw's going to come across the line. He does not improve his time. Ian Duncan improved his time, but he's still in danger. He's in the left. He just goes ahead of his teammate with 190.2. So it's not going to be enough. So go aboard with Ian Duncan as he's doing another flying lap with less than 1 minute left of the session to go. So it's going to be all or nothing for these 2 drivers to get out, to try and get out pre-qualifying, keep their team alive in this competition. Sertens down in sector 1. Jose Celsi proves his time, goes into 4th, goes ahead of Philip Street for 117.2. As they're making their way down sector 2 of this track. Less than 30 seconds left to go of this session. It's really nerve-wracking right now to see where this is going to play out. And Ian Duncan is going to be 1.8 seconds off in sector 2. But will he be able to at least prove his time? Less than 10 seconds left to go, so they have to complete this lap, otherwise that's going to be it for these two. Flame Street goes into 4th with 170.1, gets back ahead of Jose Celsi. The session's ended, and they're both going to the pits. And that is it. That is Kenya officially out. Ian Duncan and James Shaw have decided that they cannot improve the time, so that is Kenya officially eliminated from this season's Formulalympics. Oh man, Kenya had an amazing 1984 Formulalympics, but this season's just not gone their way. They've just really struggled throughout. Meanwhile, Eugene Tereda is through to group qualifying, keeping Japan's hope alive to survive at the end of this round. I think it's going to wait for everyone else to make their way across the finish line to finish their session. And the session's now come to an end. So Joe Kamath wins the first pre-qualifying group, Hal McCullough takes second, Eugene Tereda third, Philip Street fourth, Jose Celsi fifth, Alan Prost 6th, Louis Persal 7th, John Jones 8th, Ricali 9th, and the final driver to make it to group qualifying is John Graham, which means we say goodbye to Ian Duncan and Jane Shaw, and we have to say goodbye to the Kenyan team as they are now officially eliminated, as they can no longer survive the end of this round. Really sad to see how it ended up for them. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes in the Formulalympics. And with that, on that note, it's time to go to the second pre-qualifying session. And here we go, it is the second group for pre-qualifying. So who's going to be the other 10 drivers to make it into group qualifying? With Yuri Yayama in this group, can he join his teammate Eugene Tereda and make it into group qualifying to keep Japan's hope alive, as they're still at risk of elimination despite Kenya being out? And George Foshi goes out for South Africa to set the benchmark for everyone to try and beat, so we'll see how that will play out. That's so annoying. But anyway, George Foshi making his way down sector 1, going down the very first long street of this track. As George Foshi makes his way to the chicanes before coming up to one of the hairpins that's coming up on this track. Got a few drivers coming out of the pits already, eager to set times to ensure that they'll make it to the group qualifying session. Let's see what happens here. As George Foshi makes his way to the tight hairpin of this track, and does so with ease. And he's making his way towards the final hairpin of this track. And then as he's going to start his flying lap for everyone to try and beat. I think it's so about to come out of the pits. Not going to ball Foshi too much, thankfully. Well, let's see what Foshi can do here. As George Foshi makes his way down sector 1, 21.7 is his time. As he makes his way to the chicane, bouncing a wee bit, but manages to get through them with ease. And going towards the hairpin next, and see what is his time going to be in sector 2. And it's going to be 48.7 his time, and go to another hairpin. They're going to be followed with the very, very tight left hairpin. go. Makes his way through with ease. And coming up to the final corner. What is that benchmark time going to be from George Fauché? And across the line, it's going to be a 1:18.5. Not the quickest time we've seen here, based on the first pre-qualifying group, but still a time regardless. Bernd Schneider does a 1:17.5. West Germany been really struggling trying to defend their title, which has really been a difficult season for the team. Yama goes into second with a 1:17.7. That seems like a pretty good time. Derek Daly for Ireland on his return for 1:17.2. Derek Daly fighting back as Ireland for the last 2 rounds only had one driver, which is Mark Baran, but they've got Derek Daly and David Kennedy back, so Mark Baran can sit back and relax for now after doing all the heavy lifting for Ireland. As Graham Duxbury 1:18.1. So the two South Africans are the slowest so far in this session. Can that be turned around? We've still got 7 drivers yet to set a time, as we've still got 6 minutes left of the session to go. And coming across the line is Oscar LaRue with a 1:18.1. Someone else about to come across the line. Pierre Nadeau 1:17.3 his time. And this might be David Kennedy 1:18.2. So he splits the two South Africans. As Fauché's getting nearer to the bubble now. And Fauché improves his time though, goes to 1:17.8, so he gets ahead of LaRue. Thierry Boutsen is returned 1:17.3 is his time. And we've got Salazar for Chile in 7th with a 1:17.9. It's David Kennedy for Ireland is now in the bubble. Risk of being in the danger zone. We've still got 2 drivers yet to set a time in this session. And Carlos Sainz goes into 8th with a 1:18.009. So Kennedy's in the danger zone, Duxbury's in the bubble. As Theo Saladin pushes Duxbury in the danger zone, so we got 1 South African, 1 Irishman in danger of not making it out to pre-qualifying, as we're halfway to the session now. Got a few drivers in the pit, so let's look at David Kennedy at the moment. As he's making his way down the final sector, doing the tight left hairpin before the final corner, or is he going to pit this lap? He might actually be pitting. Yes, he is going to pit this lap, so in he goes. Yama, meanwhile, is 5th at the moment for Japan, so Yama in a good position to get himself through to group qualifying along with Tereda, keeping the Japanese hope alive in this Formulalympics season. Tereda's done really well in the F2 division, but in the F1 division, Japan have really struggled. So I guess Tereda is really their last resort to see if they can get themselves out of danger. I mean, Tereda did really well in qualifying the previous round at Daytona, but things just went horribly wrong. They ended up 35th. As we've got 4 minutes of the session to go. The man in the bubble, the moment Oscar on the roof of Argentina, though he's got the 2 drivers behind him in danger of going out in the pits at the moment. But still, we'll probably try and get a good time in. As we've got Saladin goes into 5th with a 1:17.6. Meanwhile, Graham Duxbury goes out for South Africa to try again, see if he can improve his time and push LaRue in the danger zone. As we've got 3.5 minutes left of the session to go, as we're getting close to the end of this second pre-qualified session. LaRue is going to come to the pits. Going to try and buy his time and go for one last stint maybe to try and ensure that he is through to group qualifying. As David Kennedy now comes out of the pits for Ireland. So the 2 drivers at risk of going out, going for another shot to see if they can get themselves in the top 10 places. The only drivers out are Boutsen, who's just finished his time, does not improve. Derek Daly, the man who's leading this pre-qualifying group. Bernd Schneider 4th and Saladin 5th. So we're getting closer to the start finish line. Duxbury has got a couple of cars left to go. That's him going to start his flying lap. As we've got about 2.5 minutes left of this session to go. What can he do here? Hopefully get a good time in. As we're around the final corner, and here comes Graham Duxbury to start his flying lap now. Let's see what he can do here. As he's making his way down sector 1 already. There's a couple of cars left to go. Then he's off to the main straight. Going board to the South African and going down sector 1, 21.085 time to beat, and he's going to be half a second off. As it stands, that might be good enough to get in the top 10, but we'll see what kind of pace he's got. Going down sector 2. They'll give a good indication how far off the pace he's going to end up being. As we've got everyone apart from Ruri on the track, so Ruri the one person at risk of possible elimination if Kennedy Duxbury get in the top 10. And 1.3 seconds off the pace sector 2. Okay, it looks like Duxbury's not going to improve his time based on the pace he's giving at the moment. As we've got 1.5 minutes left to go, so Duxbury will have one last chance at this for sure. But would he be able to do that? I think you can see his. Oh, that is. He's Fushi is Fushi in the pits? Or. Oh, no, Salon is going to the pits. And here goes Graham Duxbury across the line. Does not improve his time. He's way off the pace of his time. What about David Kennedy going down sector 3? There's Yaya ahead. He's still in 6th for Japan. We're keeping the eye on the. And Japan's Yaya is going to stay out to finish his time. Will it be an improvement, or does not look like he's improved his time? Stays in 6th. David Kennedy does he improved his time, but it goes into 11th, so not enough to be faster than Duxbury, but not enough to beat Laruri. In fact, 0.02 of a second slower than Laruri. So both drivers have got time for only one more lap. So this is our last chance as we go back to Graham Duxbury. Going down sector 2. Is he going to improve is he going to be in a good position? No, he's not. He does not look. I think he's going to be even slower this first lap. So I think Duxbury is going to be one of the drivers to be eliminated. What about David Kennedy? I'm not too sure. This is Thierry Fauchy still ahead. He's in 7th. Fauchy is definitely going to make it to the group qualifying session for sure. As Pierre Nadeau goes into 2nd with a 170.3. Duxbury's in the pits. He knows he's done, so that's it. For Kennedy, 8 tenths down in sector 2. So it's going to be quite tight between him and Laruri again to see who's going to make it to group qualifying. But can David Kennedy do it? Is he going to come to the pits and admit defeat? Hopefully he doesn't admit defeat. He's going to try and go for it. Nope, David Kennedy's going to go to the pits. He doesn't think he can beat his time. So that is David Kennedy also out. So essentially the session is over. So we're just going to wait for everyone else to make their way across the line. Carlos Sainz improved his time, goes into 4th. And who's yet to finish their lap? Might be Pierre Nadeau in sector 2. 1 tenth slower than Darren Daly. But can Pierre Nadeau beat Darren Daly and win this second pre-qualifying group? Who knows? I think it's Pierre Nadeau to make his way towards the final corner. Yeah, he's going to finish his time. Is it going to be Nadeau or Daly's going to win this group? And it's not good enough for Nadeau, so Derek Daly wins the second pre-qualifying group. Both Belgians 2nd and 3rd, Carlos Sainz 4th, Bernstein 5th, Tucson 6th, Yoyaya 7th for Japan, George Fauchy 8th, Alicia Salazar 9th for Chile, Oscar Laruri is 10th, which means we say goodbye to David Kennedy and Graham Duxbury. So with that dramatic pre-qualifying session out of the way, it's time to move to the F2 qualifying session before we head over to the F1 group qualifying session and learn the fate of the 2 Japanese drivers of Yanayama and Tereda. And here we go with the F2 qualifying session. We've had 3 driver changes going into this round of the F2 division. With Hideki Khan being disqualified after what he did in the qualifying session at Daytona, he's been replaced by. Let me get sorry for you. So Khan has been replaced by Hitoshi Ogawa, who's making his debut for Japan. For Switzerland, with Jean-Pierre Frey still in the F1 division, Antoine Salomon has been demoted down to the F2 division instead of getting his seat back. Stefan Johansson makes his return to the Formulalympics, but he's in the F2 division to replace the Bjorn Waldegard, who's replacing the currently suspended Mikael Eriksson. And that is it. So those are the 3 drive changes. Salomon, Johansson, Ogawa are in, with Okada, Bjorn Waldegaard and Jean-Pierre Frey out, with Bjorn Waldegaard and Jean-Pierre Frey in the F1 division. So John Bo's out for Australia to see if he can set the benchmark for everyone else to try and beat. We'll see what everyone else can do here. Alonso are kind of the highest placed driver in second with 49 points, which is 4 less than the actual lead of the championship, which is Mikael Eriksson, who is in the F1 division but currently suspended, with John Winter behind Alonso by only 2 points after his main race victory in Daytona in the previous round. As John Bo now sets the bench, is now setting his flying lap now for everyone to try and beat. I think that's the 2 Japanese drivers behind, so that'll be Kichi Suzuki and Hitoshi Ogawa behind. See how this goes here for those drivers as they make their way down sector 1. Now what can John Bo do here? Oh no, it's not Japan, it's Santal from Switzerland that's right behind. Okay, so the cars can look too similar. I think it's just because how small they are. So it's Salomon and the other Swiss driver of Santal. Salomon Santal. Try to say that 3 times fast. About to come down sector 2. I think the 2 Swiss drivers are faster than John Bo here, it looks like. But we'll see what John Bo's benchmark is going to be. So we've got all 26 drivers out on the track to do their qualifying runs. So we've got about 9 minutes left of the session to go, so we're 3 minutes in already. Going very interested to see how it's all going to play out going into the reverse and main races. As it's got 1 car left to go, and Jumbo hitting the final corner now. And here they come to do their first times on the board. Jumbo 128.3, Santal 127.2, and Salomon 126.9. So Salomon fastest already. Always been denied by Thierry T. Sebastian Lindholm goes faster, 124.9, and now Petresi 123.3. So times are coming second fast. Philippe Alliot 123.9 going to second for France. Oh, by the way, I forgot there is. Oh, so it's 4 changes, not 3. Explain a wee sec. There's Kent Eriksson start for Sweden. France come around 9th, 127.3, and Klaus Ludwig goes into 5th. So Pascal Gabon, with Bunsen returning to the F1 division, that means Rambo so forth. That means Gabon's back in the F2 car, replacing Husman, who just took a seat temporarily. Mauricio Salazar goes into 5th for Brazil. We've got John Winter second for West Germany, which is good for trying to catch Alonso in the championship. I don't see Alonso on the board, so I don't think he's had a time yet. So we've got Yannick Dallas third for France, Alliot 4th, Danny Sullivan 5th for the United States, that'll be Bruno 8th. Alonso across the line, he's only in 13th position. And the 2 Japanese drivers, Ogawa 13th, Suzuki 11th, so pretty decent time there for Ogawa's first Formula Olympic weekend. But Alonso down in 14th position, not looking too good if he wants to try and stay ahead of Winter in the championship. As we've got 3 cars yet to set a time. So, it's Petresi leading, John Winter second, Yagdas third, Andre DeCesare is 4th for Italy, Philippe Alliot 5th, Danny Sullivan 6th, Kent Eriksson 7th, Mauricio Sala 8th, Martin Brown 9th, and Pascal Gabon is F2 returned in 10th position, 600 seconds faster than Raul Boesel of Brazil. And we've got the Australians towards the back. Really still in 25th, and his teammate Franz Comrade 23rd. So Austria and Australia firmly at the back, as Boesel improves his time, goes ahead of Gabon, so Gabon goes down to 11th place. Okay, Petresi's on an outlap. Okay, what's coming in? Where's Alonso? Alonso down to 17th place. Got Juha Kankin in front of him. Not looking too good for a man who's trying to get ahead of the championship. He goes into the pits. Got all to do, so he's nearly 3 seconds off the fastest time, which is Petresi 123.3. There we go, and the pits. So we got Andrew Chester is fourth with about half a second behind his own teammate, and Chester goes to the pits. Danny Sullivan, what can he do here in 6th position for the United States? Going down sector 2, and he is going to be only 1/10 off the pace, so not too far behind Patrese. As we've got a few drivers coming into the pits. So the two Japanese drivers, 13th and 16th in the moment, because Japan are risking elimination in the F1 division. Of course, the F1 division goes, that means Japan won't be in the F2 division anymore either. So it's a very, very nervous time for Japan for the F1 division. Stephanie Hansen, the man who's been demoted to the F2 division, 15th. Where's Santal? No, not Santal. Solomon. No, that's not him. Solomon. Yeah, Solomon 20th. So the two drivers have been demoted to the F2 division, kind of struggling, 15th and 20th respectively. As your hands is in the second sector of this track. Be on the lookout. John was his second. Alonso. Okay, Alonso's back on the track. We'll focus on a little second. Watch Stephanie Hansen finish his lap. No, he's going to be able to go to the pit. So Alonso got all to do to try and catch up to John Winter for the sake of the champion himself and the drivers' championship. Doing his outlap at the moment. Looking further up and down the field. A surprise is Klaus Lundberg not doing too well. 14th for West Germany. Sebastian Lindholm 12th for Finland, who did really well in Daytona the previous round. Gabali's returned to the F2 division 11th. Ali 5th, Chen is 4th. Dalmas doing well in 3rd. Checking the championship standings. Who's closest to? So Alonso, John Winter, and Danny Sullivan is separated by 11 points, with Alonso 49, Winter 47, Sullivan 38 points. Sullivan 6th, and Winter's 2nd at the moment. So as it stands, it would mean Alonso and John Winter would tie in points, with the countback going in Alonso's favour, because they both won a race, but Alonso got a 3rd compared to John Winter's 6th. As Alonso cleared the foul car to start his flying lap, his chance to catch up to his championship rivals, and that is Anton Solomon getting him. Alonso going into 17th place for Switzerland, so improvement there for Solomon, but still probably expect more for someone who was in the F1 division. And here comes Alonso making his way down sector 1. What can he do here? He is going to be 800 a second faster than Patrese, so fastest man on the track so far. Sebastian Lindholm goes into the top 10 now with a 124.2, goes ahead of Raul Boesel of Brazil. As Alonso is making his way down sector 2. I can already tell he's going to improve his time, but will it be enough for the lead? Will it be enough to beat John Winter? Will it be enough to beat T.A. Sullivan? Alonso going down sector 2, 300 a second faster. Okay, so the gap is shrinking a bit between him and Patrese. Oh, it's going to be quite tense. Got a couple of cars left to go. Going to find out where Alonso is going to be sitting. And here we go. Alonso, one car left to go. And Alonso's actually going to bail, go to the pits. Why? Why would he? Why he bailed? Going to the pits. Dick Johnson put his time, goes into 21st. Anton Solomon put his time again, goes into 13th. Goes ahead of Kiichi Suzuki of Japan. Oh wow, that's very bizarre. Did Alonso think he was doing a really bad run? Like, was it miscommunication? I don't understand why that is. John Winter way off Patrice's pace. I think it's because of traffic ahead of him. As Danny Sullivan making his way down sector 1. And he's going to be 1/10 slower than Patrese in the first sector. But definitely puts him in a good position to improve his time and get a better position than 6th. Really still goes into 18th. Joey Dumfries goes into 40th. Alonso's slipping down to 20th. He's really having a bad day here. As we've got about a minute left in the session to go, so Al doesn't have time to go back out anyway. So if he has a pretty time, goes into 15th. Alia goes into 3rd for France, so good time there. Daisalva's 3/10 down. Okay, so he's going to be behind John Winter. He might end up as it stands, he might get 4th, I think, so he's going to miss out on bonus points. But it'll be a decent grid position for the main race. As Daisalva is about to make his way towards the final corner, someone had a massive lockup going into the pits. And Daisalva coming across the line. He improved his time, does go to 4th by 5 thousandths a second faster than the Iron Dalmas. So okay, really close to the two of them there. Though he can do one more lap if he wanted to. I'm surprised. Oh, Klaus Ludwig down in 17th, Korea Stewart in 2nd. Keep down. Central 23rd, Conrad 25th, another former F1 driver. It's really struggling here. So Barry Central improves time, goes into 18th, goes ahead of Ruiz Stoll. But Franz Conrad, well, not a great run for him, but it's been really bad for Al He's 21st. So he's gonna have a lot of ground to make up for the main race, since he's gonna be starting so low down the field. Stefan Johansson, his time goes into 14th, 124.4. So a decent grid position for the first and the main race. We probably would expect more. His teammate meanwhile, Kent Eriksson in 7th. Sala is 8th, Bosel 11th. And so watch out for Franz Conrad, 1.1 seconds in sector 2. Wow, so he's had a really slow second sector. So something's clearly gone a bit wrong there for the Austrian. Got a few drivers still yet to finish their final runs. As Franz Conrad's coming down towards the final corner. Is he going to finish the lap? Is he going to bail? No, he's going to finish his lap, but will he be able to improve his position, which is currently 25th? And coming across the line, he does. He goes into 16th, goes ahead of Kiichi Suzuki. Is anyone else going to improve their times? I don't think so. I think it might be the end of the. Is it the end of the session? Oh, okay, so good. Oh yeah, it's the end of the session. And Joy Duffy's going to pit anyway. Okay, so with that out of the way, Ricard Patrese is the winner of the qualifying, gets the 3 bonus points. 2 bonus points to John Winter in 2nd, and the final bonus point to Philippe Alliot in 3rd. With Daisalva getting 4th, Yak Downs 5th, Andrew Chester 6th, Kent Eriksson 7th, Mauricio Sala 8th, Martin Brown 9th, and Sebastian Lindholm rounds off the top 10. Really surprised to see Bosel 11th, Gabon only 12th, Salman 13th, Johansson 14th, Conrad only 16th, Ludwig down 18th, and most surprising, Al Unser 22nd. Really bad day for the American, the man who is fighting for the lead of the championship, fighting with Winter and Sullivan, who are going to be starting 2nd and 4th in the main race. And here we go with the first group qualifying session. Now both Japanese drivers are in this group, so it's all eyes going to be on them to see if they will qualify, because of course if neither qualify, then Japan are eliminated. And we're going to throw it on the track, we'll go find who that is. It is Louis Persala that's going out first to set the benchmark for everyone to try and beat. Of course, as usual, top 11 make it to the race, bottom 11 will go out at the end of this round. Bottom place team will be eliminated along with Kenya. Kenya already out because both the drivers have failed to make out pre-qualifying, so it's no longer possible for them to survive this round. So Japan at risk of elimination. Chile are also potentially at risk. Both Chiles are in this group as well. Greece could be at risk as well. Australia might have an outside chance of being at risk. We'll see what happens here. Both qualifying groups will definitely help us determine who are the ones that will be in danger of being knocked out at the end of this round. As Louis Persala flies down sector 2 as he's getting ready to go do his first flying lap of the session, and set a benchmark for everyone else to try and beat. Still got a few drivers coming out of the pits, so I think the majority are still sitting in the pit lane at the moment. I think they're just buying their time when to come out and do their first runs. Although quite a few of them are coming out now to set their first lap times. They've got some coming in the pits. but Louis Persad clears them, so no risk of being slowed down. We've got Alicia Salazar right in front of the Spaniard as they're making their way down sector 1. Hopefully that won't slow Louis Persad down too much. Of course, Louis Persad did really well in the qualifying in Daytona, but they made a driver mistake that ended up being a disaster, causing a huge disaster for him. But he did get the 3 bonus points for qualifying pole, but he didn't get any points in the actual race itself. But here we go, going down sector 2 with Louis Persad, and what's his time going to be? It is going to be 48.9 seconds as they're going down, as they're approaching the tight left hairpin, which is just coming up now. And he's nearly caught up to Salazar. But I don't think it's going to slow him too much. We've got 1 corner left to go. And we'll see what the time is going to be from Persad. And the time is going to be a 1:18.5. We'll see how that compares to everyone else. So we've got Sullivan come across the line, well, coming towards the final corner to set their first flying lap time. There we go, and that time is going to be a 1:70.0. It's from Bernd Schneider of West Germany. Louis Persad 4/10 down the first 75. Schneider 1.5 seconds faster than the Spaniards there, as they got nearly everybody on a flying lap now, and everyone's on the track. Joachim Mass, the other West German, 1:19.3. Jose Celsi 1:18.9. I think that's one of the Japanese drivers behind. Okay, they're doing a flying lap right now, whichever one it is. As we got Pierre Nadeau with a 1:17.7. Really good time there from the Belgian. I think his teammate Boots is right behind. Yes, it is. 1:17.9. Alan Prost 1:18.0. George Foshi 1:18.4 for South Africa. A few more cars coming their way. Warwick 7th. Pierre Schoen 3rd for Austria. Nigel Mansell goes into 7th. Nelson Piquet 2nd, 1:17.5. So we've got Mass and Blomqvist in the danger. So Celsius in danger now as Salazar goes into 9th. So he pushes his own teammate at risk of elimination. Eugene Terea goes into 4th for Japan. This is what they need, 1:17.8. Lewandowski slowest now, 1:19.8 for the Netherlands. Apostolo and Possums even slower, 1:19.8, 1:19.9. So, okay, difficult runs for bad runs for those two. 4 drivers still yet to set a time. So Terea 4th. Where is Yama, the other Japanese driver? Larui 13th in the danger zone, 1:18.7. Still yet to find Yayama. Alan Grice 15th for Australia. Yanar's 18th. Yayama goes into 10th for the 1:18.4. That pushes Alicia Salazar in the bubble, while the other Chilean of Celsi in the danger zone. Chile at risk of being in the 12th hour. Greece at risk of elimination at the end of the 12th hour as well. Postolo is currently 21st. As he's going to be 1.6 seconds off the pace in the 2nd sector. He might improve his time, just maybe. We've got Nigel Mansell goes into 3rd now for the United Kingdom. The man who's leading the championship by 10 points over Alboreto, with the next highest being Berger, who is behind by 33 points. So Mansell is well and truly out in front in the Drivers' Championship. The United Kingdom are not far ahead of Brazil. Apostolo Pursa goes into 19th. Brazil are only 3 points behind the United Kingdom, with PK 2nd. That's definitely going to help out Brazil a wee bit. Jose Celsi, go board with check on him. He's 15th. His teammate's still in the bubble, but Celsi's going to bail for the pits. Salazar's on the track at the moment. Yaya's in the pits as well. His teammate Terea's in the pits. Surprisingly, Joachim Mass down 19th for West Germany. West Germany really struggling here. Paulson 20th. The two Dutch drivers at the back of the field. So the two Dutch drivers struggling in the session, looks like, early on. Compared to everyone else, so they're paired up that they are in the group with. Stig Blomqvist in the pits, so he's probably going to try and buy his time. So it is Schneider's in the lead. Mansell gets ahead of PK, goes to the second. PK third. Dodo is fourth. Eugene Touré fifth. Pierre Shaw is sixth for Austria. Seventh is Thierry Boutsen. Alan Prost is eighth. Fauché ninth. Yaya 10th, and in the bubble, Alicia Salazar 11th, ahead of Luis Perez Sala of Spain. I'm surprised to see we got Warwick in the danger zone, Sells in the danger zone, Grice in the danger zone, Blomqvist in the danger zone, Mass in the danger zone, and Yat Lammers in the danger zone. Ludek, who did pretty well in the Daytona the previous round, surprised to see him in danger as well. So it's going for a little bit of action to take place. Not too sure what's going to happen here. Yeah, now it's coming across the finish line, and he is not going to improve his time. Well, he's way off his best time, so he's in 21st. We was Thierry Ludek still on an outlap as Joe Cabas is well and truly underway now. See if he can get himself out of the danger zone. So his teammate, he's 2.3 seconds slower than his own teammate in this qualifying session at the moment. Joe Cabas is going to be 1 second slower in the first sector. He's got Oscar Leroux in the way of Argentina. It's Leroux, okay, Leroux's on an outlap. Mass isn't, so that's going to be a problem for sure. So we've got a lot of people on the track right now. Jose Celsi on an outlap. Luis Perez Sala trying to get Salazar in the danger, push Salazar in the danger zone. Only 1/1000 of a second separated, I've just realised. Salazar to the pit. Luis Perez Sala 2/10 down the first sector. That's a good start for Luis Perez Sala to get into the top 11 spots. He's got Blomqvist ahead of him, who's on an outlap at the moment. Joe Cabas going down the third sector. Still got Leroux in front of him. Meanwhile, Luis Perez Sala making his way down sector 2. What's Perez Sala's going to be 9/10 slower. So it's still in good position to beat his best time and get ahead of Salazar. What about Joe Cabas? Joe Cabas across the line. Oh, he does not improve his time, so he stays in 18th. That's not good. Not good at all. Checking back on... Where is Perez Sala? Back on Luis Perez Sala. Oh, he's going to bail for the pet, so he's aboard the lap. Yaya has improved his time. He stays in 10th. He's only 7/10,000 of a second slower than Fauché, but still improving his time regardless. That could help him out, get into the race along with Tareda, who is currently sitting in 5th. 3/10 down Schneider in the first sector. But this could be the lifeline that Japan badly needs here. And being their home race, what a time to be doing it, especially with the rounds that elimination will kick in. Tareda going down sector 2, 4/10 down. Still in a good position to improve his time. Just got sector 3 to go. Jose Celsi down in sector 2. Salazar's on an outlap at the moment, but checking Tareda. But he's got 1 corner left to go. Let's see, bails to the pits. And he is staying out. He's going to finish this lap time. What is Tareda going to do here? Is he going to improve his time? No, he does not. Okay, so sector 3, slow sector 3, it looks like here. But here comes Jose Celsi though. See if he can get Chile into the top 11. It pushes 2 down. Yama goes into 5th. Gets ahead of his teammate. Blomqvist jumps into 4th. Salazar's in danger now of elimination. Fauché's in the bubble. Celsi put his time, but he stays in 16th. So Luis Perez Sala on outlap. Salazar's also on outlap. This is not looking too good for those drivers. With 150 left to go, there's not enough time left, so Fauché's going to be in the pit lane for the rest of the session. Warwick is definitely out. Boutsen currently 9th at the moment, but will it be enough for him to make it to the race? Okay, Salazar getting underway in sector 1. Needs to try and find a 10th of a second to beat Fauché, get himself back into 11th. Possibly improves his time, goes into 17th for New Zealand. Not going to be enough for him to get through. Not enough, but he's got one last chance here. Ludek's in the pit, so Ludek is out. 1,000 seconds still separating Salazar and Luis Perez Sala. Luis Perez Sala coming across the start finish line to start his. This will be his final lap of the session, so it's the last chance to get Spain into the race. Jose Celsi. Is he going to finish the side? Is he going to go to the pits and admit defeat? He is going to go to the pits. So Celsi doesn't think he can improve his time. So Celsi's out. Laruri's in the pits. He's also out. Less than 10 seconds of the session to go. The session's about to end. Louis Paisal, 1/10 down in sector 1. So looking good for Paisal already. Salazar's going to finish his lap, but is he going to improve, or is that going to be both Chileans out at possible risk of elimination? Okay, Salazar's not going to make it, so both Chileans are out. So Japan, so it's either going to be Japan or Chile that is going to be eliminated. Okay, Louis Paisala going down sector 2, 3/10 down on Schneider. Is Louis Paisala going to push Foshi out and push himself into the top 11, make it to the race? Still a few cars left to finish their times. And oh, it's going to be quite tense here. A couple more drives coming in the pits. Oh no, Paisala's going to come in the pits. Paisala has decided that his time's not good enough to make it to the race, so that is Paisala out. Mass is out as well. He's done. Postolo improves his time. It's only 19, so Postolo is out as well. And we're just about to come to the end of the session. We have come to the end of the session here. Okay, what a nail-biting session that was. Bernd Schneider wins the first group, Nigel Mansell second, PK third, Blomqvist fourth, Didot fifth, both Japanese drivers 6th and 7th, Pierre Chauvet 8th, Thierry Bussa 9th, Alan Prost 10th, and the final driver to make it through is George Foshi of South Africa. We say goodbye to Lucio Salazar, Louis Paisala, Derek Warwick, Oscar Laruri, Jose Celsi, Possum, Alan Grice, Constantinos Apostolo, Joe Kimat, and the 2 Dutch drivers. So Salazar and Celsi is going to have to sit back and wait and see if it will be them or will it be Terena Yayama that will be eliminated. So before we find out, we gotta go to the second group qualifying session and see who will be the other drivers to make it to the race. And here we go with the second group qualifying session getting underway, with all the drama about the potential of Japan and Chile's eliminations in the first group. We can settle down a little bit in the second group and see who will be the other 11 drivers to make it to the race. And we've got someone coming out. It's Thorken Thyring, the man who won the previous round in Daytona. A very, very comfortable victory for himself and for Denmark, getting Denmark's first ever Formulolympic victory, I believe it was as well. So can he qualify for this race, and can he get another good performance out of him once again? So Denmark's victory thanks to Thorken Thyring has shot them up into 5th place in the nations competition. Puts them right behind Spain and ahead of Austria, who slipped down to 6th place. Speaking of Austria, with Gerhard Berger in this group, can Gerhard Berger make it to the race? Can Ayrton Senna make it to the race? Berger finishing 7th in the previous rounds, and Ayrton Senna had a disaster. I think he qualified, if I remember right, he qualified 32nd and he finished in 20th. So Ayrton Senna tried to defend his Drivers' Championship title. Not looking good for him, as he is sitting at 50 points, which is 47 fewer than the current championship leader of Nigel Mansell. However, Brazil are only 3 points behind the United Kingdom in the Nations competition, so Brazil might just be able to get the Nations competition title that West Germany pipped them by, if I remember, 1 point. So it's going to be a very, very intense battle for the drivers and the nations competition in this round, as well as seeing if Japan or Chile will make it to the next 2 rounds of the season. But Thorken Thyring, meanwhile, going down sector 1. 21.2 seconds is his time. Now making his way down sector 2 as we go. Everyone's calling the track now to start their first out laps or their first flying laps. I think a couple of drivers are going to be impeded by those that come out a bit later than in the session. But here we go, going down sector 2 for Thorken Thyring, and his time is going to be a 48.2, which seems like a really quick time there from the Dane. And he's just got a couple of cars left to go, and that's the benchmark set for everyone else to try and beat. See what happens here. And Sorkin Siring going down the tight left hairpin, making his way towards the final corner. And the benchmark time from Sorkin Siring, it is going to be a 1:17.9. That seems like a pretty decent time. We'll see how that compares to everyone else. As we have got Tima Saladin with a 1:17.9, so 700 of a second slower. Ivan Capelli 1:19.1. Bobby Rahal 1:19.4, the F2 champion of the 1984 Formula season. Not really having a great F1 Formula season himself, who is sitting in 24th position. Eddie Cheever 1:20.3. Pierre Lombardi 1:19.9. So pretty slow time there for Lombardi and Eddie Cheever, it looks like. Jorge Recalde of Argentina goes into third, 1:18.0. Goes ahead of Ivan Capelli. And then we've got John Jones of Canada, 0.02 of a second slower than the Danish driver of Thorken Thiring. And Derek Daly goes fastest, 1:17.1, 0.8 of a second faster than the Dane. We've got John Graham in 8th for Canada. Alessandro Ni goes into second, 1:17.4, as Ed Cheever now sees himself in the bubble. As Larry Parkins pushes him in the danger zone, going into 7th. John Nielsen, the other Danish driver, goes into 3rd, 1:17.8. Carlos Sainz 8th for Spain with 1:18.1. So we got John Graham, Pierre Lombardi, and A. Cheever all in the danger zone at the moment. As Bjorn Wallengaard, the man in the man driving for it was in the Swedish car in the last round of the last season, going into 7th. Ayrton Senna goes into 3rd. Gerhard Berger, meanwhile, is 8th. Boy Ralp's time goes into 12th. As Carlos Sainz sees himself in the bubble, surprisingly. As we got other times coming in, A. Cheever proves his time, Lombardi proves his time, and everyone's okay. So everyone's set time. So Derek Daly's out in front for Ireland, Alessandro Ni second for Italy, is third for Brazil, John Nielsen 4th for Denmark, Thorken Siring 5th for Denmark, John Jones 6th for Canada, Bjorn Waldegaard 7th for Sweden, Gerhard Berger 8th for Austria, Tima Saladin 9th for Finland, Recalde 10th for Argentina, and Carlos Sainz in the bubble for Spain. As John Jones has shot himself up into 2nd position, just behind Derek Daly by 1/10 of a second. In fact, less than 1/10 of a second. Jean-Pierre Frey at the back for for Switzerland, sorry. Malcolm Stewart, who came 2nd in Daytona, down 21st with 1:20.0, so not looking too good for the New Zealander. As we're nearly halfway into the session already. Champion, the defending champion going into the pits. Gerhard Berger, one of the championship contenders, he goes to the pits as well. It's Costas loss for Greece going down sector 3. What can Costas loss do here? His team didn't qualify. Okay, he's going to come to the pits at the moment. Well, a lot of people coming in the pits this lap. Well, nearly everyone's coming in the pits, it looks like here. As we've got Malcolm Stewart staying out, Jean-Pierre Frey staying out. Neither improved their time, I don't think. John Graves just come out of the pits, looks like. Someone else coming in the pits, that's John Jones, Recalde. About to start a flying lap for Argentina. Ivan Capelli on an out lap as well. Oh, Larry Parkins is currently doing a flying lap. He's in 14th for Australia, at risk of elimination. His teammate Alan Grice didn't make it. Can he make it? He's going to abort the lap and go to the pits, okay? So nearly 5 minutes after the session to go. A few people on the track. Yeah, quite a lot of people doing out laps, it looks like at the moment. Malcolm Stewart, sector 2, 1.8 seconds off the pace. Jean-Pierre Frey, 2 seconds off the pace. So Malcolm Stewart's faster than Jean-Pierre Frey. I think he's being held up by the Swissman though, which is not going to be ideal for Malcolm Stewart. Now, are they going to come in the pits or are they going to stay out? Malcolm Stewart's going in the pits, but Jean-Pierre Frey's going to stay out. Is he going to improve his time and get out of last place? No, he does not. He does not improve. He's still the slowest in this group at the moment. Meanwhile, his teammate Lombardi is in 16th at the moment, kind of doing an out lap. Berger staying in 8th, he's doing an out lap. Seth 4th, he's on an out lap as well. Carlos Sainz in the bubble. He's just kind of the pits, so he's doing an outlap as well. So a lot of the poor drivers in this group, they're all doing outlaps at the moment, so there's not really too much to commentate on at the moment. We've got Ivan Capelli danger for Italy. We was in third. He's 4/10 slower than Daly, so maybe it might help him get himself in the top 11 and push Sainz in the danger zone, which would be bad news for Spain. We got Ham Cool. Okay, he's on an outlap as well. Is Capelli going to finish this lap? He's going to bail for the pits. He's going to okay, so he's going to finish this lap, but will he improve his time? Will he gain some position? Will he get the top 11? And Ivan Capelli goes into 9th, 170.972, 6 thousandths faster than Timo Salonen. Carlos Sainz now in danger of elimination, which is not good news for him. Garrett Barger starting a flying lap, see if he can try and keep up with the front runners in the competition. Especially he's got to worry about Nigel Mansell, Nelson Piquet and Senna at the moment. Going down sector 1, Garrett Barger is going to be half a tenth slower than Daly. Not too bad, I would say. We'll see how well it translates to in sector 2. And Bobby Rahal, he goes into 5th, so that is Ricciardo in danger now. So which means Timo Salonen's in the bubble. He's 1/10 slower Daly in the first sector. Gerhard Berger, sector 2. He's 3/10 down. Labari Pru's time goes into 14th, not enough for Switzerland. Carlos Sainz half a tenth slower in sector 1. Timo Salonen making his way down sector 2. What can Salonen do here? He is going to be 4/10 down. So he's slower than Berger, I think, here. But I think Salonen is still going to improve his time though. And here comes Gerhard Berger looking around the final corner. Where's he going to go? He goes into 4th. Gets ahead of Ayrton Senna. Mikola goes into 4th for Finland. He pushes the teammate Salonen in the danger zone. Sainz and Salonen going in the first sector, focusing on them at the moment. They're currently in the danger zone. And where's Timo Salonen going to end up? He goes into the bubble. He pushes Capelli in the danger zone. And so Salonen's in the bubble. Is that going to be enough to stop Sainz getting into the top 11? No, it's not. Sainz goes into 6. So Salonen is back in the danger zone. We've got Bjorn Waldegard of Sweden's in the danger zone now. No, he's in the danger zone. He's in the bubble at the moment. Oh, he's well of a second, so he's well off the pace. A Cheever improved his time. Only goes into 18th. So it's not looking too good for him or for the United States. But his team by Rahal though, he is in the top 11, but can he hang in there? So Gerhard going down the 3rd sector of this track. Here's Senna going down sector 2. I think he's been held up by traffic, so that's going to slow him down. So we've only got about a minute left of the session left to go. So it's too late for Capelli, Loth, John Graham and Philippe Streif to get out. I forgot about Philippe Streif. So that they're all eliminated for sure. Gerhard Berger improves time again, jumps into 3rd now, goes behind John Jones of Canada. So looking really good for Gerhard Berger, really pushing his limits here. Instead does not improve his time, probably because of the traffic ahead of him. And so that's by Rahal. He's going to bail for the pits, so he's going to end his session there. There's his teammate A Cheever in sector 3. Can A Cheever finish this time and can he get himself out of the danger zone? He's going to finish this line. He's got enough time to do one more if he needs to. There's Malcolm Stewart. He's going to improve his time. He only goes into 19th. Meanwhile, Cheever does not improve his time. He stays in 18th. 5 seconds left in the session left to go. So this is last chance saloon for A Cheever to make it to the race, or that is going to be him eliminated. Or is Timo Salonen. Last chance saloon to either going to get Waldegard out, or it's going to be him that's eliminated. He's got Ayrton right in front of him. I think he's going to be too. No, he's been slowed down too much. I think Salonen's going to be out. Or he says it's got the same problem as well. We will go back to A Cheever as he's making his way down sector 2, and John Nielsen going into 4th for Denmark. Gets ahead of Alexander Neal. Good time there for John Nielsen. Meanwhile, his teammate firing 8th and 10th. So not quite the bubble, nearing the bubble, and that's Salonen in the pit, so that is the edge for Salonen. Waldegar's still in the pits. Jean-Pierre Frey for this time, still the slowest man on the track in this group, so that is Jean-Pierre Frey out. Still got only a few cars left to finish their runs. So it's going to pit. Derek Day's coming to the pits. He's still the fastest man in this group. I think he might end up being the winner of this group. A Cheever is going to the pits. A Cheever doesn't think he can improve his time, so that is going to be out for A Cheever. Malcolm Stewart coming across the line. Does not improve his time, so that is Malcolm Stewart out as well. And that is the end of this session. Okay, quite a chaotic session that was. Derek Daly is the winner of the second qualifying group. In second is John Jones. Gerhard Berger takes third. John Nielsen fourth. Alessandro Nini's fifth. Hannah McCall sixth. Carlos Sainz seventh. Ayrton Senna is eighth. Boy Rahal ninth. Thorken Thyring 10th. And Bjorn Waldgaard, the final driver to make it into the race in 11th. Which means we say goodbye to Timo Saladin, Ivan Capelli, Jorge Ricaldi, Pierre Lombardi, Costas Loss, Larry Parkins, Eddie Cheever, Malcolm Stewart, John Graham, Viv Streif, and Jean-Pierre Frey. So with those out of the way, before we get to the F1 qualifying grid, it's time for the F2 reverse and main races. Okay, here we go. It's the reverse grid race here in Japan for the F2 division with John Bowe in the front row along with Juha Kekkonen, Dick Johnson and Danny Tays in the second row. Meanwhile, Ricardo Patrese, John Winter and Alio got the bonus points, so they'll be starting 26th, 25th, 24th with Danny Sullivan joining Alio on the 12th row of the grid. Who's going to win this reverse grid race? Without further ado, let's go ahead and find out as we focus our attention on John Bowe, as he is the pole man after all for this race. And the race gets underway now, and we are underway here in Japan, and it looks like a pretty good start there for John Bowe as they head towards turn number 1. Now, is everyone going to be able to get around this corner safely? Possibly, but we'll need to get the Formulalympics car back of the pits before it's too late. But it's John Bowe leading the way, Kekkonen second, Dick Johnson third, Al Unser's into fourth, and Rui Stoll just got past Danny Taser fifth, Taser sixth, Klaus Ludwig is 7th, and Hitoshi Ogawa is 8th. Here comes Klaus Ludwig, let's try to move on Danny Taser for 6th. And by contact, they both go off. Oh, they go to the barrier. Well, they're back on the roads, but that was a big incident there from Ludwig and Tays that slowed the rest of the field down. As we've got Ogawa right behind the two drivers with Bernard Santal in 9th. But here we go, coming down to the second section of this track with Kekkonen half a second down on the Australian. We've got Al Unser right behind Dick Johnson. Rui Stoll is right behind the American as well. He'll be wanting to get some decent points for himself. Klaus Ludwig past Tays for 6th. Ogawa behind the Belgian who's in the fight for 7th place. As the front runners are making their way to the start-finish line to start lap number 2. I think the board may be a bit broken. There we go, okay, that's it. Board's fixed. But anyway, we're on to lap number 2. And 4/10 of a second separating the two drivers. And here goes Al Unser making the move on Dick Johnson for 3rd. And he easily gets past Dick Johnson. Rui Stoll looking, trying to do the same here for himself and for Austria to get into 4th. A bit of a lock up there. I think that's from Rui Stoll. As they're coming down to the fast section of the track. What can still do here? He's just going to sit behind him for a little bit. Just there takes a little bit of pressure from the debutant of Ogawa. As we've got John Bowe still under a lot of pressure from Juha Kekkonen right behind Al Unser. That meanwhile is closing in on them already as we speak. Rui Stoll, Klaus Ludwig right behind Dick Johnson, still trying to time his move when to make the pass on the Aussie. And there's Hitoshi Ogawa doing pretty well in his first F2 race in 8th, right behind WT still. But checking back to the front runners, there is Bowe, Kekkonen and Unser together as they're making their way down to the 3rd sector of this track to start lap number 3 of 13. I wonder who's going to get the fast lap of this race. I'm imagining it's going to be Al Unser. There we go, John Bowe 129.2, Al Unser 127.0. What about everyone else? They're going to get anyone going to beat Alonso's time? Does not look like it. And Reese still meanwhile has got past Nick Johnson, so he's now into 4th place. So good move there from Reese, still big lock of the brakes there, going the corner. Meanwhile, we got Klaus Ludwig trying to put the pressure on Johnson for 5th place now. As we will go down the second sector, this Kenkin, Alonso and John Bowe in a 3-out battle for the lead of this race. What can they do here as they're making their way towards sector number 3 of this track? And we go to the next corner. I'm wondering if we're going to see a move going in here. Kenkin's is setting himself up to get past John Bowe. Oh, Alonso that went on the other side there. I think he was trying to make a manoeuvre, but wasn't close enough to make a pass on the fin for 2nd. This really still right behind in the background there, catching up to the front runners as they're making their way to the end of lap number 3 and making their way to lap number 4 of this race. Alonso the fast man on the track so far. Will anyone beat that? Really still 126.5, so really still is the fast man of this race. Good performance there from really Stoll. While Kenkin is still unable to find his way past Australian for the lead of the race, as Alonso and really still watch on as we're on lap number 4 of 13. Not very much Kenkin can do here. Just sit back and buy his time when to make the pass. But John Bowe not making it easy, that's for sure. Dick Johnson still in 5th position, holding back Klaus Ludwig with 18th and Agawa 7th and 8th at the moment. So Dick Johnson not doing a bad job to try and get himself some points here for himself. As they make it, as the front runners making their way down sector number 3 of this track. As Jurkanka, a little bit of an outside manoeuvre there, but not able to do anything about it. While Alonso going for the inside line, Jurkanka, I think Alonso is finally going to make his move on Kanka, and I think that's Alonso into 2nd. Yes, it is. Ruiz still watches on, hanging in 4th place. Good move there from the American. So here we go, lap number 5 starts now. Is Alonso going to make the move on John Bowe, trying to take the lead of this race? He's going for it. And goes a bit wide, off the road goes Alonso. Oh no, Alonso's into the wall. Oh no. I think Alonso was a bit too ambitious there, and I think that's the end of Alonso not going anywhere. So that's Alonso out of the race. Oh, that's such a shame. That was a really good attempt there, but I think he's just got a little bit impatient and it's cost him severely. We're nearly halfway to this race, so it's John Bowe leading the way, Kankin 2nd, Ruiz still is 3rd, Dick Johnson is 4th, Klaus Ludwig 5th, 6th, Didier Tees, Hitoshi Agawa 7th, and Barcental rounded the points positions in 8th place with Franz Comrade right behind in 9th. Oh, that's so unfortunate to see Alonso go out of the race. That was oh man, he really needs some points to get it ahead in the Drivers' Championship, but well, now he's lost that chance. He's going to have to try it all again in the main race. So of course he's starting towards the back of the bad qualifying section, and really still looking like he's going for the move on Johan Kankin for 2nd. It's really still good. It's really still in 2nd. It looks like he is indeed, but Johan Kankin's right next to him. So Kankin might try and go for the re-overtake it. No, not going to happen. It's going to be really still in 2nd now. What a move there from the Austrian. Great move indeed. It's we're on to lap 6. We're nearly halfway to this race. Looking back down the field. Is Klaus going to go for the move with Dick Johnson? No, he's not going to. Oh. I don't think anyone in the points section is going to anywhere. This Stephanie Hansen looks like he was going to try and make the move on Barcental, but I think he got a bit too wide there. And here we go, coming down down the main street of this course. As We're nearly halfway in the race. Rui's still gonna have to try. Going to try and buy his time, try and figure out when it's the best time to get past John Bowe and take the lead of the race. Hopefully, we soon. Because I imagine pit stop's going to be emerging imminently in either this lap or the next lap. So Rui's still going to really think about trying to get the pass on the Australian. So try to get advantage of those behind him in the race, especially the faster drivers that qualified in the back for this reverse grid race. After we come down to the hairpin, and Rui's still slowed down a bit. I think he just had a bit of a bad exit in that corner, which is what cost him the chance of trying to go for the lead of the race. And John Bowe's going in, still is going in. Kankinen is staying out. Dick Johnson is staying out as well. Okay, so we've got quite a few people staying out. Who's else going to pit? Klaus Ludwig's going to the pits. And if we watch on in the pit lane, in fact, well, quite a few people are staying out. But the vast majority of drivers are in the pits. Who's going to come out first on this group of cars? If we watch on to find out. Well, John Bowe's on the move, and so Rui's still's on the move, so Still is going to be ahead of John Bowe. Yes, so Still's going to come out in 10th. Bowe's going to be 11th. Meanwhile, back at looking at the front runners, Kankinen well in front of the lead. Dick Johnson second. Sorry, DDT third. Hitoshi Gara fourth. Santal fifth. 6 Dumfries. Pascal Cabal seventh. And Solomon 8th. Lindholm 9th. While Rui's still is in the top 10. As Bowe is second of the pits. Klaus Ludwig goes third of the pits, interestingly. Gets ahead of Kiichi Suzuki. And quite a few people are still stuck in the pit lane, which is not going to do them any favours if they want to try to get some decent points in this reverse grid race. So imagine the front runners, those are stage, are going to pit this lap. Here goes, yep, Kankinen's coming in. Dick Johnson, imagine going to come in as well. Yes, he is. So it's Taze. Yeah, so it looks like everyone on the stage is coming in the pits this lap. Ruiz still is half a minute behind the front runners of Juha Kankinen, so can Still catch them in time? That's the question. Here he is going down towards the hairpin. Wonder who's going to come out first. Will he be able to stay ahead of? Okay, so got movement in the pit lane, and it's Dick Johnson. I think Dick Johnson's going to come out ahead, and Kankinen's going to be second. Oh wow, so they're going to be quite a bit ahead of Stoll. In fact, Stoll's coming to the start finish line now. Taze is into third. Agawa's just going to miss out Stoll, so Stoll goes into fourth. Agawa fifth. Santal's coming in sixth. We've got John Bowe in seventh. Klaus Lundgren grabs the point positions in eighth, with Solomon just outside the points in ninth. Okay, so that's quite an interesting result that we've had in the pit lane, but we're on lap 8 and 13, so we've still got 6 laps of the race to go. So it's Dick Johnson leading the way. Juha Kankinen is second. Didier Chase is third. Rudy Stoll fourth. Hitoshi Agawa fifth. Brian Santal sixth. John Bowe is seventh. Klaus Ludwig rounds off the top 8 positions, with Solomon 9th and Dumfries are the top 10 as well, which is just outside the point positions because it's top 8 in reverse grid race. But there's Dick Johnson leading the way by about half a second over Juha Kankinen, but Juha Kankinen is right behind him. I imagine he's going to be all fired up to overtake try and get past Dick Johnson for the lead of the race. Field is spread out quite thinly for sure. So we're on to lap number 9 of 13. Dick Johnson tried to defend his position off Kankinen, though Kankinen's not going to make it easy, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Stoll will be eager to try and get past Taze, to get himself back in the podium position. Even if it's only third, it'll still be a good position for him regardless. With Hitoshi Agawa in his first F2 race, still in the point position. Really good performance there. Martin Brunel gets fast up with a 125.8. He is 17th in a bit of no man's land. He's 10 seconds ahead of 18th, which is Mauricio Sala, but he is 2 seconds behind Bozo as Yannick Dalmas is goes even faster in 26th, 125.7, a second behind the Chesler's 21st, and 3 seconds ahead of John Winter in 23rd place. Good times there for them, but they're well and truly outside the points in those positions that they're in right now. So we're getting closer to lap number 10, so which would mean 4 laps of this race to go. And it looks like Bro and Kaika are in a comfortable position to fight for the win, with Tay, Stoll and Ogawa not too far behind in 3rd, 4th and 5th place. But really interesting result there. John Bull getting really lucky, but the Australians getting a bit of good luck in this race to have their drivers 1st and 7th, so both drivers in the points position. As Kaika tried to close out and take on Johnson, but not able to make it happen. Really a struggle there, that's for sure. Let's go to lap 10 of 13. Do have a big cluster car, so going from 12th down to 17th. So might get some late minute dramas from this group, but I don't think it's going to affect the race too much regardless. But anyway, lap 10 of 13, 4 laps to go. Kankan is still in touching distance of Dick Johnson, just not able to find an opportunity to get the pass and get to the lead of the race. No, really still same story with Heaven Taste for 3rd, not really able to find an opening to get into the podium spot. There's Benson Tal trying to get away from John Bow in 7th, with Klaus Ludwig behind in 8th. Trying to see if he can find an opening to get past the Australian, with Antoine Salomon trying to put the pressure on the West German. Really intense stuff here into the late stage of this reverse grid race, as we're making our way to lap number 11 of 13. This is some really intense battling for sure. DTs and still were quite a lot faster than Kankan and Johnson at last lap, so they've closed in on them quite a bit. So Taze and Stoll might have a late chance of affecting those two drivers if possible. With Ogawa right behind them in 5th place, doing really well for himself in his debut. We want to see Kishizuki, where is he? He's just been passed by Lindholm for 12, but Lindholm's gone awfully wide. That was a big off there. Philippe Alliot gets the fast lap in 24th position with 125.4. Good time there from the Frenchman, but really late in the race and well and truly outside of out of contention to score any points here. Anyway, let's say Johnson still leading the way, with Kankan still behind, with Tate and Stoll not far behind them actually. In fact, Tate is 1 second behind Dick Johnson. And well, really still looking on the outside. He was a mistake, or he's going for a manoeuvre. Meanwhile, Ogawa has closed the gap between him and Stoll, and I was wondering if he was going to he had a chance, but I guess not this time round. But anyway, we're coming up to the penultimate lap of this race. And Dick Johnson leading the way, Kankan 2nd, Taze 3rd, Stoll 4th, Ogawa 5th, 6th Until. Both sides, Klaus Ludwig in 8th position. And here we go, starting the penultimate lap of this race. What can they do here? Very intense stuff here for sure. But Kankan not able to find an opening on Dick Johnson, which is not what he needs. He needs a good result. He's just does not look like he's going to get one here in Japan for the reverse grid race. And that's Klaus Ludwig in 8th, still not able to find his way past John Bow either. And here we go, coming down to the beginning of the final sector of this track, sector 3. What can happen here? Don't know. But Kankan was going for wide. I think he was going for a move, but Yeah, it's not right now. Taze right, it's gone right behind Kankin. Is Taze gonna make it? Is Taze gonna try and make a move on Kankin for second? Possibly. Be interesting if that's the case. But anyway, we're coming to the 13th and final lap of this race. Can Dick Johnson just hang in there a little bit longer to take the win? That'll be an amazing result for him and for Australia if he was to somehow hang in there and win this race. But Kankin's not going to make it easy for sure. That is Taze or Stoll if they possible. Gawa, amazing debut in 5th place. And here we go, coming down to the fast section of the track. And I don't think Kankin's close enough to do anything about it. No, definitely not. But that is going to be possibly the last opportunity Stoll's gonna, no, not Stoll, Kankin's gonna have to win this race. We're coming down to the beginning of the third and final sector of this track. What a race this is! It's quite a close race indeed from these front runners. By the end of the day, it looks like Dick Johnson's defending is going to be enough for him to take the win here for the reverse grid race, because the main race is going to be a lot more difficult because he's towards the back of the field, but you never know in the Formulalympics, anything is possible. And here we go, just one corner left to go, and that's going to be a win for Dick Johnson of Australia, with Kankin going to finish in second. But here we go, Dick current the final corner, and it's Dick Johnson wins the reverse grid race here in Japan. Kankin second, Taze third, Stoll fourth, Agawa fifth, sixth and Tal, both sides, and Klaus Ludwig. The final point going to the West German, as we now just got to wait for everyone else to make the way across the finish line. And here we go, that's everyone across the finish line. And there we are, confirmation, Dick Johnson wins by 3/10 of a second over Kankin. Didier Taze takes third, Rui Stoll fourth, fifth for Hitoshi Agawa, Berthenthal sixth, Jumbo seventh, and the final point going to Klaus Ludwig in 8th for West Germany. Antoine Salvin takes 9th, Joy Dumfries finishes 10th, with Pascal Cabon in 11th. Kichizuki 12th, Conrad 13th, Lindholm 14th, Stefan Johansson takes 15th, Rob Bosel 16th, Martin Brother 17th, Kenneth Eriksson 18th, Dai Sullivan takes 19th, Mauricio Sala 20th, with DeChester 21st, Dan was 22nd, John Winton 23rd, Elliot 24th, and the final finisher, Ricard Patrizi 25th, as the only driver to retire was Alonso in lap number 5. So with that result out of the way, it is time for the F2 main race. Who will win it and who will take the definite lead of the Drivers' Championship. Without further ado, let's make our way over there. And here we go for the main race here in Japan for the F2 division. Ricard Patrizi on pole, John Winter second, Philippe Alliot third, and Dai Sullivan completes the second row. Who's going to win this race? Without further ado, let's find out as we get this race underway. As we focus our attention on to Patrizi because he is the pole man as the race gets underway. Now, and it looks like a pretty good start there for John Winter. I think he may have actually got a better start than Patrizi going into the first corner, but we'll see. And John Winter going for the inside line, and Patrizi goes a bit wide, and that's cost him 2 positions, and John Winter does take the lead of this race. Now to get the little car back to the pit before it's too late. And here we go, John Winter leads the way. It's Alio in second, Patrizi in third, Sullivan fourth, Yank Dallas fifth, DeChester sixth, Kenneth Eriksson seventh, Salah eighth, Lindholm ninth, and Martin Brother at the top 10. It's Rob Bosel looks like he's going to try to move on the Brit, and Bosel has got past into 10th place. What a brave move there from Bosel, that's for sure. As the field is starting to spread out already, as we're making our way to the second half of lap number 1 of 25. So really good start. That was a really good start for the front runners. John Winter got half a second lead over Ali already. Patrizi nearly a second behind after a bit of drama in the first corner. Dai Sullivan there is in 4th for the US, with Yank Dallas in 5th. DeChester right behind in 6th, with Kenneth Eriksson 3rd. Mauricio Sala 8th, Lindholm 9th, and here's a bit of pressure from Rob Bosel. Looks like I think Bosel is trying to eyeing up to make the move on Lindholm for 9th. But I think he's going to back out a bit this time round. But quite that was a rather ambitious move there from Bosel though. As we're on to lap number 2 of 25. We've got a few overtakes towards the back of the field. Alonso, who had a good opportunity to win the reverse grid race, well, crashing out. Let's make it crash out. We've got someone at the wall. It's Rudy Stolz into the wall. Okay. Let's see what Gary played. Rudy Stolz managed did really well in the reverse grid race. What happened to the Austrian? I think he was well, that's his teammate. Okay, that's Franz Conrad in front of him. Go around the first couple of corners. Oh, teammates colliding. The two teammates have collided with each other, and that's taken Stoll out of the race. Oh, that's such a shame. He did so well in the reverse grids race. He got 4th, and he's going to get nothing here in the main race because he's in the wall. Okay, that's really unfortunate for Rudy Stoll. Unfortunately, the race must go on without him. But the field is relatively spread out in the top 10 positions. I would say probably top 13 positions have relatively spread out of each other. As we're getting closer and closer to lap number 3 of 25. I think Winter may be, the gap to Winter and Alio may be closing in slightly, though it's hard to see. And here we go, coming around the final corner to start lap 3. Who's going to be the fastest man of the race? Is it going to be Winter? Winter with a 1. Oh, okay, Danny Sullivan. Oh, Yannick Dalmas with a 1:26.8. Fastest man on this track so far. Good time there for Yannick Dalmas, being out his teammate. I think Sullivan temporarily got that fastest lap title, only for Dalmas to take it away from him. I think Sebastian Lindholm may be closing in on Sala, and Brundle may be closing in on Bosel, so I think the two Brazilians may be under threat at the moment. We'll see how it goes, but I think Lindholm and Brundle are lining themselves up to make the pass on the two Brazilians. Look at that in the field. There's Kennex 7th. Don't think there's going to be too much to report at the moment. And we've got Alonso down in 17th. He's got Klaus Ludwig in front of him. He's trying to get past. With Franz Conrad behind him in 18th position. Raul Bosel try to put Lindholm under a bit of pressure, but Brundle's trying to put him under a bit of pressure as well. As we're coming round to start lap number 4 of 25, where is things going to stand? John Winter is going to be fastest by 1:26.7. Anyone going to beat that time? Does not look like it. Looks like John Winter is going to be the fastest man off the track so far. Good job for him, for sure. Okay, at the back end of the points, we can still see possibility of overtakes happening with the two Brazilians, Lindholm and Brundle still. So keep our eyes on them, because I imagine something's going to materialise out of it in between now and a few laps time. So say lap 7, maybe. I think that's when things will start to happen. And John Winter gets the fast lap again, 1:26.6. And it's going to be that time. Does not look like it's going to be close to beating that time. So good lap there from John Winter, checking further down the field. Brundle was faster than both on the last lap, but not close enough to try and make the pass for a point position in 10th. And there's Sebastian Lindholm, still trying to put pressure on Sala, but Sala's just not close enough for him to do anything about it. And John Winter goes even faster, 1:26.5. He is pulling away from the rest of the field. Alio is not able to keep up, which is not good news for him or for France. For John Winter, this is good. This can help in the championship. He's tied on points on Unser They're both 4 points behind the leader, which is Mikael Eriksson. So as it stands, John Winter will easily make his way to first place in the Drivers' Championship compared to Alonso, who will get no points because he's down in 17th place still. Still stuck behind Klaus Ludwig, not really able to do anything about it, unfortunately for him. So he's just not going Alonso's weekend. Bad qualifying, retired in the reverse grid race, and, well, stuck in 17th in the main race so far, as we're 6 laps into this race. And John Winter again goes even faster, 1:26.3. He's just showboating right now, because he's nearly 2 seconds ahead of Alio, and Alio's just it's been consistently like 1 or 2 tenths slower than John Winter in this race. So really just rubbing it in the poor Frenchman here. Meanwhile, the battle for 8th is pretty much still hotting up, well and truly hot, between the two Brazilians, Lindholm and Brundle still. But they're well and truly behind those ahead of them. They're at least 7 seconds behind Kenneth Eriksson, who's sitting in 7th for Sweden, this will be a good result for him, compared to his teammate Stefan Johansson. That's not him. Johansson, who is he's in 14th position, so he's not doing too badly. He is behind Antoine Solomon and ahead of Johnny Dumfries. John Winter trying to pull away from Alio, but I think Alio may be starting to close in on him now as we're getting closer to start lap number 8 of 25 here. So could this be a sign the tide might be turning? Who knows? Martin Brundle still unable to catch them both, so I think Pascal Gabon is closing in on them now. Man in 12th position. And yeah, Alio was faster than Winter the last lap by 1/10 of a second. So I think the tide might start to turn between those two drivers. Possibly. Okay, for a second I saw someone going to the pits and I thought, that's really early. But no, it's just just not reading the map correctly, it looks like. As they're going through the first couple of corners. And still. Okay, Salah maybe looks like he's got a bit of a gap between him and Lindholm now, so maybe Salah can start pulling away from the Finn and try to keep his 8th position safe. He's about 1.36 ahead of him at the moment. Both not able to do the same with Brundle for the time being. Man is still eyeing his 10th position for sure. And John Winter goes back to say the fast lap of the race. In fact, only 300 seconds faster than Alio, so Alio had a really good time there as well. But John Winter still gets that fastest lap of the race. And Mauricio Sala has pulled away from Lindholm quite a bit. Well, in fact, nearly 7 tenths faster than the Finn, but the Finn is 2 tenths faster than both on Brundle, so he's got a bit of a gap between him and 10th place for the time being. And John Winter sets the fastest lap once again, 1:25.6, 2 tenths faster than Alio in that last lap. But Patrese, well off the pace there in third. Sullivan, that's opened the door for Sullivan and Dallas to start closing in on him quite a bit. Lindholm's completely lost touch with Salah. Salah's really pulled away from the rest of the field, from him, Bosel and Brundle. So it's really just a battle for 9th now. And I think Gabon is closing in on Brundle I'm pretty sure, with Sullivan and Johansson right behind them in 13th and 14th respectively. Now Alonso approached the back of the queue, stuck in 17th, still unable to find a gap to get past Klaus Ludwig for 16th, which is really bad news for him considering how the championship is going. And of course there'll be 2 races left to go after this. Well, technically 3. 1 reverse grid race and 2 main races at the to go. So this could be the difference between Alonso being in or out of contention to win the championship potentially. So we've got John Winter about to start lap number 11, so we're nearly arriving at the halfway point of this race. And John Winter, 1:25.4, goes even faster, 1/10 of a second faster. Ali is getting the quick lap times in, but just not quick enough. Just Cesaris was 3 times faster than Dallas at the last lap. He nearly was faster than Winter. So Andrea Cesaris could probably put Jack Dallas in a spot of bother. Possibly. We'll see how it goes. Bozo was quite a bit faster than Brundle at last lap, so try to put a bit of a gap on him, but not really able to close in on Lindholm for the time being. Still a bit of a struggle for now. Salah is 4 seconds ahead of Lindholm, who is still a further 8 seconds behind Kenneth Eriksson, sitting in 7th position for Sweden. And there's John Winter leading the way, nearly 2 seconds ahead of Philippe Alliot, with Patrese hanging in 3rd, Sullivan 4th, Dallas 5th, Cheddar 6th, Eriksson 7th, Salah 8th, 9th, Lindholm, and both are in the top 10. As a bit of a gap has formed again. And John Winter goes even faster, 1:25.1 compared to Alliot's 1:25.2. And Cheddar is a 1:25.3, so he's 4 times faster than Jack Dallas at last lap. He is closing in on the Frenchman. But he's still got 9/10 of a sec, well, about exactly 1 second to cut before getting past the Frenchman for 5th place. There's Eriksson 7th, Salah 8th, Lindholm 9th, and there's both around the top 10 positions. Brundle trying to put some pressure on Bozo, but I think he's losing touch with them at the moment. And so on lap 12, we're nearly halfway into this race. The field is... Hello. And here we go, about to start the second half of the race. Will John Winter be coming in this lap, or will it be the lap after? Who knows? Because in the reverse grid race we had some people coming in one lap and then a lot of people coming in the next lap. Okay, Winter is staying out, Alliot is staying out. They might all be staying out then, if that's the case. Unless someone's going in early, which I don't think is going to happen. As John Winter goes even faster with a 1:24.6. Oh no, Alliot was faster, 1:24.6, sorry. So 3/10, oh, so Alliot was about 3/10 faster than Winter. Okay, so Alliot is starting to close in on Winter, but still got quite a lot of ground to make up. 1.6 seconds is still separating him from the lead of the race. Salah well out in 8th position, as Brundle was slightly faster than both on the last lap, but not able to close in on him at the moment. Meanwhile, John Winter, well, pretty much all the front runners are still relatively spread out from each other, so they're not really battling each other for positions. So it's going to be a mind game of when are they going to pit this race. Will it be lap 13? Will it be 14? Will it be 15? Who knows? But there's Winter down sector, going down, well, starting sector 3 of this track, so I should say. So all the back markers just about start lap 13. They're actually nearly a minute behind John Winter, so John Winter might end up lapping them at some point during this race. Possibly. But here you go, John Winter going down the track, and Winter's going to come in this lap. Alliot's in as well. Well, they won't be staying out. Is Patrese coming in this lap? Looks like Patrese's in as well. Okay, a lot of the front runners are in. Okay, so Winter's in his pit spots. In fact, all the front runners are coming in this lap. Will everyone else do the same? The question is who's going to come out first. Okay, Salah's in as well. I think. Oh, look, it's almost as if every driver's going to come in the pits. It's like, oh, there's someone coming in the pits. It's Ricardo Patrese that's coming out. Okay, so Patrese, the pole man who dropped to third, he's going to come out ahead of everyone else. What's happened to John Winter? What about Alliot? Because they're all still in the pits. Trying to get on board, trying to find Winter. Okay, Winter's on the move. Is Alliot on the move as well? Alonso's in the pit. Okay, well, Patrese well in front. Okay, Alio's going to come out ahead of Winter, actually. What? Pit stop that. Well, okay, that's a really dramatic turn of events. Well, Patrese's well out in front. That's the shocking part. Sullivan's going to come in fourth for the United States. Alonso, well, he needs a really good pit stop to give himself a chance of case of championship contention. Chetter's fifth, Dallas is sixth, Kenneth Erickson is seventh. Okay, well, yeah, every single person has come to the pit this lap. Looking out for Alonso, a championship contender. Is he still in the pit lane? Some people are on the move. Gabanka's in 8th, Sala in 9th, Martin Brundle comes down the point section in 10th. Oh man, this looks like a disastrous pit stop there for Alonso. Oh man, this has really been not been Alonso's day here at all. Oh, Alonso, well, yeah, looks like he could be in 20th. He's just been a very bad race all around. It looks like we're going to have someone's about to be lapped by Riccardo Patrese, it looks like. But Riccardo Patrese is 26 ahead of everyone. He's had a mega quick pit stop, and everyone else is... Oh, something's gone... Well, for everyone else, something's gone horribly wrong. John Winter's probably the biggest loser of it, because he's gone from being well in front to being down in third behind Felipe Alio. But Alonso's in 20th, so Alonso is the biggest loser here, because Winter's in a really good position to take the lead of the championship, and Alonso probably going to have to play catch up for the remaining 2 rounds for the F2 division. Really a dramatic turn of events for sure. As Patrese has just lapped the first back marker, that's John Bowe of Australia. He's now officially 1 lap down. His teammate Dick Johnson next in line to be lapped. I mean, the gap 16 and a half, well, nearly 17 seconds separating Alio and Patrese. Like, it's going to be a very, very convincing victory for Patrese, unless something goes horribly wrong, which I doubt it's going to happen here. Oh, bit of a lock up there from John Winters. He's he's clearly flooring it to try and catch Alio and get himself back ahead of him. As Patrese by start lap number 16, 1:20.9 his time, which I imagine be slowed down. I imagine it's because John Bowe slowed him down to put him a lap down. My brother chases Mauricio Sala for 9th place. He's now ahead of Lindholm. What happened to the other Brazilian? So there's Sala. Where is Bozel? Bozel's down to 13th, so he's at a risk of not getting any points at all. So not great. Now Patrese's going to be slowed down by Dick Johnson, the next driver to put a lap down, as we're on to lap 16 of 25. Really interesting turn of events this race has proved to be, as John Winter 2 seconds separating him from Alio for a second. There's Chester's 5th, there's Dallas in 6th, whereas Kenneth Erickson 7th, Gabon 8th, there's Sal 9th, Brundle runs to the top 10 at the moment. Brundle 7 tenths down on the Brazilian, still trying to chase him for 9th position. As Patrese's better start lap number 17. Now, will he be able to put Dick Johnson a lap down here or not? Or will it have to be down the main straight? Well, he's closely behind him, so he tries to line himself up nicely to put him a lap down. And here we go, Alio going down the main straight of the track. Will he be putting a lap down here? Knows the answer. He's got to just sit behind him for a bit. He's 15 seconds ahead of Alio at the moment, but Alio's going to start closing in. But they've still got John Bowe to try and lap first before getting to Patrese. So a difficult position there for Alio. Maybe closing in Patrese, but he's got at least one back mark he's going to have to get past to try and catch him. St. Johnson still in front of Patrese. Patrese still not able to find his way to get past. The gap between him and Ali is reducing to less than 14 seconds. But of course, Ali has still got John Bowe to try and lap first. But it's not ideal for Patrese because he wants to try because he's in a good position to take the win here. All he just needs to do is ensure he does get across the line first. As we're on to lap 18 of 25, about 3 seconds slower than Alio in that last lap, as John Winter is now 2.1 seconds, so he's not really closing on Alio. Alio's looking like he's faster than Winter, which could be a problem for Winter because he would have maybe got a bigger advantage over Alonso going into round 7 for the F2 division. Of course, anything can change during this race. Brundle, 2 tenths faster than Silent last lap. He is a man on a mission to try and catch Salah for 9th, but still not close enough to pull it off. As Patrese pushing his limits, try and lap the Australian. And a lot of the back markers are ahead of him. We've got Yuha Kankinen, Taze, Ogawa, Unser, Ludwig, Santal amongst this group of cars. Oh, and Kishizuki as well. So that's not going to help Patrese. Actually, he's going to be well and truly slowed down by them. What's to happen here? Sullivan got personal best 2 tenths faster than Winter in that last lap, so Sullivan could be a late charge. Might provide a late charge on John Winter to try and get into 3rd. So that might cut down Winter's advantage over Unser. But of course, Sullivan is 11 points behind Winter going into this round, so Sullivan is still a potential championship contender himself. I mean, he'll be ahead of his teammate Alonso because Alonso is 20th, at risk of possibly going to end up not scoring. So we're getting close to lap 20, which means it would be 6 more laps to go. I don't think anything's going to change at this point of the race. I think it's going to be too late. Alia's reduced the gap between him and Patrese to 9.1 seconds, but he's still yet to catch up to John Bowen to put him a lap down. Dick Johnson's come up to Kankinen ahead of him, who's sitting in 23rd, but he's still got Patrese behind him, who's trying to put him a lap down. So, quite a difficult position here. Quite an awkward one as well. As we have got... Oh, we have an overtake within the train. Santal's got past, trying to get past Klaus Ludwig. But Klaus Ludwig's having none of it, and he's going to hold on to the position. Meanwhile, Alonso looks like they try to make the move on the Swissman for 19th. Alonso's going for it, and Alonso's off, and Santalis is off into the barrier. Okay, Alonso managed to get back on the track, but Santalis not. I think Santalis going to be out of the race. Oh man, it's a risky manoeuvre, the chicane, but that is the end of Bernard Santal. I mean, Santal was nowhere near the points, but it's just a shame that his race ended just like that. And there's Alio. I think Alio's now caught up to John Bowe now, who now inherits 24th, thanks to the incident between Alonso and Santal. Yep, that's Santal officially out of the race. Patrese still well and truly held up by Dick Johnson. The gap between him and Ali is down to 5.5 seconds. How quick can Ali get past Bowe? Because this is Patrese's advantage completely depleted. It's just vaporized because of the back markers. We'll not be able to get past back markers. Alio going for the outside line, not able to find his way through. John Winter though, right behind, threatening to try and find his way through the Frenchman to get into second. Petrelli still not able to find his way through. It's Alio in second. Meanwhile, Alanta's gaining positions up to 17th. He's got past Kichizuki. So now Ali's going to try and find his way past John Bowe with Winter and Sullivan breathing down his neck, quite literally. Whilst Petresi still unable to lap Dick Johnson, still unable to find his way through, which is costing him because he had a 20-second advantage. It's now down to less than 5 because of this. This is not looking good for the Italian. I mean, he's still got a comfortable gap between him and Alio, but that's a major advantage just disappeared like that. The only good news is Alio seems to be it's not able to get past, and Danny Sullivan is making the move on John Winter for third. Okay, so Sullivan's going for it, but John Winter's coming back. He is not must be quite insensitive that Sullivan made a bold move to go into get side. He temporarily got it, but managed to get it back off of him. And Alio continues to be stuck behind John Bowe as Petresi ahead, not able to find his way past Johnson to put him a lap down. In fact, he's got Petresi in his sight. The gap's now down to less than 4.5 seconds. The gap is just disappearing still. We're on that 22-25, so still 4 hours left of the race to go. If Alio gets past John Bowe now, they have a really good chance of being right behind him going to the penultimate lap, but it does not look like he's going to be able to do that. Just not able to find his way past John Bowe. Just not able to do anything about it, which is the problem. There's Riccardo Petresi back, looking back to the race leader, Riccardo Petresi, with the back marker still in front of him. He's not really able to do anything about it. The gap's now less than 4 seconds. The gap's well and truly reduced as we're going up to lap number 23. Petresi not able to do anything about it. And Ali's not able to take advantage of it either. Well, he's closing the gap, but it's not really doing anywhere near enough that would give him any advantage to get catch up to Petresi. As Petresi going down to the chicane, which where Santal went off. Valio does the same with the swell. Gap's now less than 3 seconds. The gap has reduced to less than 3 seconds. That is not good news for Petresi. Really, really bad news. And there's Petresi leading the way with a gap now down to about 2.5 seconds. And still no gap opening for him to lap Dick Johnson. As Alio continues to struggle in second, still unable to find his way through the back marker. I mean, he's reducing the gap. It's now 2.2 seconds. It's the gap between him and the leader now. And it's all getting pretty tense as we come to the penultimate lap of this race. There we go, and Petresi's going for it. He's going to try and lap Dick Johnson. And he goes a bit wide. Okay, goes a bit wide, but gets back on the track. John Bowe's right there, and there is Philippe Alio, who was right in front of him there. Okay, so Petresi tried to lap Dick Johnson, but it did not work, and that has slowed him down, and that's helped Alio reduce the gap to less than 1 second. They still got a back mark, but there is still a back marker separating the two of them, which is a bit of a lifeline for Petresi. But can he just hang on for a bit, just a little longer. Really, really intense moment this is. Valio is in second, John Winter third. Chesarus and Dallas has called up to Sullivan, Winter and Alio. In fact, Chesarus looks like Chesarus was actually going to make a move on Danny Sullivan for fourth. In fact, Chesarus is going for it. And John Winter is going to try to make a move on Alio for second. And yet, Chesarus has managed to make a pass. Winter's made a pass as well. But Alio's going to try to get that position back. Sullivan's going to try to get his position back. But no, Alio's secured that position. But Sullivan gets back past the Chesarus. We're on to the final lap of the race now. This is where all bets are off. John Winter managed second. This is exactly what he wants. Second position to get a good advantage over Alonso. But Alio is trying to come back swinging to try to get that position back. And Danny Sullivan is coming in to try to take third off Alio. Okay, all of a sudden the back end of the podium is really spiced up a lot. But Sullivan is now into third. Alio fourth. Chesarus is fifth. Dalmas sitting back in sixth. Kenneth Eriksson has caught up to all this in seventh. This is going to be one dramatic ending to this race here. There wasn't a lot of action after the pit stops until the last 3 laps. This is when all the action started to kick off for the front runners. As our race leader Petrini coming to the third sector of this track, I think Petrini's done enough to ensure that he is going to win this race. But what about the rest of the positions behind him between second and seventh? Okay, it looks like it may be settled down. I think we've got our final positions for this race for the top 7 drivers. But here comes Riccardo Petrini to come around the final corner and take the main race victory here in Japan in the F2 division. And there we go, Riccardo Petrini takes the win. John Winter will be the championship lead in second, Sullivan third, Alio fourth, Chesarus fifth, sixth, Yang Dallas, Kenneth Eriksson seventh. Now he's got to wait for everyone else to make their way across the finish line. And there we go, that's the end of the race. Riccardo Petrini wins by 1.4 seconds over John Winter. Danny Sullivan snatching the podium spot in third. Philippe Alliot takes fourth with Andrew Chesarus fifth. Yannick Downs is sixth. Kenneth Eriksson takes seventh for Sweden. Pascal Gabon eighth. Mauricio Sala ninth. And the final point going to Martin Brundle in 10th place. Looking further down, Sebastian Lindholm 11th. Antoine Solomon 12th. Raul Boesel 13th. Joy Dumfries 14th. Stephanie Hansen 15th. Franz Conrad 16th, Alonso will be very disappointed to be 17th, Kichizuki 18th, Klaus Ludwig 19th, Ogawa takes 20th, and we've got Didier Chase 21st, Kaiken 22nd, Dick Johnson the final driver on the lead lap, with John Bull 1 lap down for his 24th, and the 2 retirements, Bernd Tal and Rudy Stoll. So with those results out of the way, it is now time for the F1 division, but of course we need to first check out the grid lineup. And here we go onto the grid. Bernstein on pole position with Derek Daly on the front row. Third place is John Jones with Gerhard Berger starting in fourth. Fifth is John Nielsen. Alessandro Nini is alongside row 3. Seventh is Nigel Mansell with Nelson Piquet on row 4. Hamilton is ninth and Stig Blomqvist is in 10th for Sweden. Carlos Sainz and Ericsson on row 6, followed by Pierre Ledone and Bobby Rahal of the United States. Then the 2 Japanese drivers Yaya and Tereda on row 8, with Sorkin starting 17th, Bjorn Walgard 18th for Sweden, with Pierre Chauvet and Boutsen on row 10. At the back of the grid is Alain Prost and George Foshi. So at this stage Kenya have been eliminated, but will it be Japan that will go out as well? As things stand, they are currently in position to be knocked out at the end of this round. They need to score enough points to try and push another team out. Can they do it? We'll find out soon enough. And on the other side of things, Nigel Mansell, the championship leader, starting behind where his main rival at the moment is Gerhard Berger, who's starting 4th. Can Mansell hold on to his championship lead? Well, without further ado, let's get to the actual race and we'll find out together. Okay, here we go with the F1 race round here in Japan with Bernstein on pole position. Derek Daly is in 2nd, and John Jones getting the final bonus point for Canada in 3rd. Championship leader Nigel Mansell starts his race in 7th, with the 2nd place driver, second standings, K. Alberto suspended. The next highest place driver is Gerhard Berger, who will be starting the race in 4th. On the other side of things, Japan have both their drivers in this race. They are on the 8th row of the grid, Yaya 15th, Tereda 16th. For Japan to survive this round and knock out Chile, they have to have at least one driver finish in the top 6. 7th or below will send them home. Actually, no, the 8th, 7th are better because countback would go in Japan's favour looking at the nation's table, because Japan's best finish is 11th, Chile's best finish is 7th, with the next highest being 15th. So actually, Japan needs 7th or better to eliminate Chile. Can they do it? Who's going to win this race? Without further ado, let's get to this race and find out. Focus our attention on Bernstein, because he is the pole man at the end of the day, as we get the race underway. Now, it looks like it might be a good start there for Bernd Schneider as they're making their way towards turn number 1. Yep, we go turn number 1, Schneider leads the way, Day second, John Jones and Gerhard Berger the tussle for third already. I think Gerhard Berger may get the pass. Oh, actually, no, not to be the case. So Schneider still leads, Daly is second, John Jones third, Berger fourth, Nielsen fifth, Alexander Lee 6th, Mansell 7th, PK 8th, McCall 9th, and Blogfist runs to the top 10. We need to get the Formulalympics car back to the pit before it's too late. I think Arizona was trying to make a move there for 11th, so Senna is in 12th place at the moment, but it does not look like he was able to do it this time round. Looking out for Yaya and Tereda, they're still in 15th and 16th at the moment, while Thorkin Thiring and Waldegar having a battle for 17th. As they're making their way down the second sector of this track. Schneider 1.1 seconds ahead of the Irishman already, with John Jones in third, with Gerhard Berger still hot on his heels for a top 3 spot, because Gerhard Berger, of course, is trying to catch up to Nigel Mansell in the Drivers' Championship. Meanwhile, Austria are sitting 6th in the nation's table, with the United Kingdom lead the way at the moment. And here we go, going to start lap number 2 of 50. So, the field is starting to sprout already, so we might not have too much action for a wee bit of the race, but I imagine there'll be plenty of action throughout the course of this race. I think they don't look like it's going to make a move on Aaron Senna, but it looks like Senna was able to shut the door and prevent the Belgian from getting past. I think there's a bit of pressure from Bobby Rahal, who's sitting in 14th position. Going into the chicane, and that's nothing too much to note at the moment. It looks like it's going to be Cam for the time being, but we'll see how long that'll be until it changes. As we got Nelson Piquet trying to put the championship leader under a bit of pressure, who's currently in 7th place in this race so far. And there's the race leader, Bernd Schneider. Bystering on his tail defense has been quite difficult. They're currently sitting in 12th position, with Bernd Schneider sitting 13th in the Drivers' Championship with 32 points. Of course, getting a pole position here means he got 3 bonus points, for qualifying first. So maybe it's a good chance for him to bounce back individually and hopefully for the team as well. Bernd Schneider gets fast up with a 120.6. They don't get beat that time. Does not look like it actually. It looks like everyone's going to be relatively off the pace. So that's good news for Schneider, because that means he can pull. He's pulling a good gap on the rest of the field. He's currently now 2.1 seconds ahead of Derek Daly. And with the field spreading out, it looks like it's going to be relatively calm for the first good portion of this race. Okay, we're 5 laps into this race, and Schneider leads the way by 1.8 seconds over Derek Daly. John Jones is still inside. He's got Gerhard Berger still right behind, trying to put under a bit of pressure. Quite a bit back is John Nielsen 5th, Denise 6th, Mansell still 7th, PK 8th. McCall 9th, and Blogfist rounds off your top 10 still. We can see that Bernd Schneider is now still not able to increase the gap, so it's now still 1.8 seconds. But John Jones is able to put a gap between him and Gerhard Berger. Oh, and we've got a bit of an overtake there. In fact, Blogfist lost 2 positions, been passed by Science and Senna. So Sweden out of points with car size in 10th now. Well, the top 4 drivers have put quite a gap from the rest of the field. The rest of the field are struggling to keep up with the top 4. With John Nielsen in 5th, Nini 6th, Mansell still in 7th, with PK 8th, McCullough 9th, and Carlos Sainz out of the top 10. A bit of a gap between him and the 8th and Senna for the final point in 10th place. Because it's not a great season for Sylvester. He's managed to get himself into 5th place with 50 points, tied with his teammate Nelson Piquet, but we expect ASN to do better. I mean, last race he finished in 20th in Daytona, but of course there was a lot of chaos in that race, so it could have gone, anything could have happened, where we end up with Sarkisiren getting the race win for himself and for Denmark. Sarkisiren did qualify for this race. He's still 17th behind the 2 Japanese drivers. The 2 Japanese drivers, Yaya and Tereda, are really struggling in this race. They need to get one of them into 7th to make it at the end of this round, because of course lower place teams, the 2 bottom teams will be eliminated at the end of this round. Kenya already out. Both of the drivers failed to make it pre-qualified, so they've already been eliminated. So it's just wait to see if it'll be Japan or Chile that joins them of being out for the rest of the season. Of course, if Japan go out in F1 and go out, that means Japan will be out in the F2 division as well. So, which is going to be a shame. And Carlos Sainz gets the fastest lap. He's in 10th, 1:20.1. That's about 9/10 of a second faster than Senna. So Sainz really putting a big gap, putting quite the gap between him and the Brazilian, as he's trying to chase down Han Mikkola of Finland, who's sitting in 9th, who's trying to catch up to Nelson Piquet, who sits in 8th place right now. So this is looking this is going to be quite an interesting predicament there. So any surprise that the only real surprise is Alan Prost, who started at the back of the grid, is still in 21st, not able to find his way past Pierre Chauvet of Austria to get to 20th. So show his teammate Berger currently sitting in 4th. So Chauvet's kind of struggling keeping up with his teammate here. Trying to check down Ted King on Nelson Piquet and Nigel Mansell as the championship leader, still trying to find his way past Nini, trying to get in the top 6. Wants to try and close it, get as many points as he can to try, because right now Berger's set to get 12, Mansell would only get 6, so 6 points would reduce the gap, even though the current gap between them in the Drivers' Championship is currently 33 points, but still, every point counts, that's for sure. To the back of the field in the 122, so really struggling to keep up with those ahead of him in this race. And Bernstein gets the fast lap once again with a 1:20.0, 1.4 seconds faster than second place Derek Daly. So Shania really pulling away. Well, Berger and Jones were quite a bit faster than the Irishman, so Derek Daly might under be a bit of pressure now as his second place may be put at risk. Meanwhile, here's a couple of tenths faster than Carlos Sainz at the last lap. He's trying to keep up with the Spaniards, but Sainz has proved to be quite a difficult driver to keep up with. Sainz is just on a huge charge to try and catch up to Han Mikkola. He seems to be closing in on them, but not by much. So he's still got Aerosmith behind him to have to deal with. John Jones looking at Derek Daly, trying to get close enough to see if he can get into second to do himself and Canada huge wonders. Meanwhile, Garrett Berger is still right behind him, and he knows that he's going to have to try and get past Daly as quick as he can before Garrett Berger catches him first. Meanwhile, Bernstein lead the way, is now 5 seconds ahead of them in this race. So you may have to settle for a battle for second, unless Bernstein has something go horribly wrong with the pit stops. I imagine they're going to be nowhere near him in this race. John Jones a bit faster than Daly again at last lap. Closing got another tenth of a second on them, which is going to make all the difference for sure. Well, PK McCullough quite a bit faster than the two drivers ahead of him at last lap. Well, meanwhile, Sainz It's about 10 faster than McCall at the last lap, so he's creeping up to the fin as well. And things are just... So we may have a few battles that might be brewing sooner than anticipated, because during the start it looked like it was just going to be spread, it wasn't going to be anything till the pit stops. But there may be maybe something that might happen here. How will it play out? I'm not sure, but we'll find out in due course. As John Jones tries to close the gap further between him and Derek Daly. Instead of 7 tenths faster car science than last time with a 120.4 compared with science 121.1. That's exactly what Science needs to try and close in on the car science, but he's just not be able to close in enough to make a line of attack. Meanwhile, the two Japanese drivers not really able to gain any ground to catch up to Bayral for 14th. In fact, I think Ray may be dropping back a bit. That could probably put him on the third for Ziring, who might end up getting past him for 16th place, as we are about to start the second half of this race. Bauschneider lead the way by nearly 10 seconds over second place Derek Daly. John Jones and Gerhard Berger not really able to close in on Derek Daly as much as I had thought. I would have thought that with how the race had started, that they would easily catch or get past it, but no, Derek Daly's been able to, has managed to fight back, as got a gap between him and John Jones. As we officially start the second half of the race, let's see the big gains and losses. I don't think there's been that many. Yeah, only 3 people gained 1 position. Blomqvist and Shover, the only drivers, have lost at least 1 position. Oh, when I say that, Shover's just been passed by Alan Prost for 20th. I'm guessing Shover must have went awfully wide. Yeah, that's really it, really. So I guess the question is, when are they going to come in and pit? And will that pit stops turn the race on its head? I don't know. Not too sure. Oh, we've got someone in the pits. It's Stig Blomqvist. He's coming to the pits this lap. So he's pitting from 12th, he's straight out, so he's going to come out, it looks like he's going to come out in 20th. We've got Pierre Showas coming to the pits as well, so is Fauché, those at the back of the race as well. Okay, the question is, are they going to, is it going to be straight out? Does that mean Berger is going to come to the pits on this lap? And Fauché and Chauvet in the pits. Yep, Berger's coming into the pits this lap. What about Derek Daly? Is he going to come to the pits as well? Yes, Derek Daly's in. John Jones is in. Berger, meanwhile, is staying out for another lap. Interesting. And I think Berger is straight out. Is it going to take the... Is it going to be holding the lead? No, Berger's going to take the lead of the race for now. Schneider's coming out of the pits. We've got John Nielsen's coming to the pits, a couple of people staying out. One of them is Mansell, and the other one's Nini, it looks like. Yes, it is. And McCullough staying out. It's a size, Senna, PK, they're all coming in the pits. Yama, meanwhile, is going up to the ninth. He's staying out while his teammate Herrera's in the pits, so this could be interesting of how this is going to play out. Prost is staying out as well. Blomqvist is already pitted, and Blomqvist is going to come out at 11th, so he's ahead of those that have pitted this. A large group of drivers have pitted this lap. Now, Bauschneider is only 4 seconds behind, so it's fair to say Berger is not going to be able to hold the lead of this race. John Jones is 7th at the moment. Daly is 3rd. So John Jones had a bad pit stop. I'm thinking Waldegar, Chauvet's ahead. It's just got ahead of Boutsen. Very interestingly enough. So Berger's coming in the pits. So we're just going to watch Bauschneider retake the lead of this race. But can Berger get out? I'm going to say 3rd, because I think Derek Daly will easily get past him if he's straight out. Wait, straight out, but here comes Daredevil in the final corner. He's actually it might be quite close actually. Who's going to get second? Go aboard with them. No, Daredevil is going to be ahead. John Jones is going to be fourth. He's going to be behind. Berger, Mansell's in the pits. So is Mikola, Nani, Rahul, Yama. How's this going to play out? We've got couple coming out of the pits. There comes Nick Blomqvist. He's the fastest man in the chat with 180.6. In fact, Blomqvist, his early pit stop is paid off for him. He's coming out in 5th. Nani 6th. Mansell is 7th. Yama is coming out of the pits. He's going to be out in 11th, it looks like. No, he's 12th because the Dozi's got past him. So Yama is slightly closer, but he's closer towards 7th, but it's not enough. He's down in 12th still. The third comes out 15th. Behind car Sainz still, but Sainz is down to 14th. He's actually now behind by Rahul, who sits in 13th for the US. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's take a look at the board. Biggest gainer is Alan Prost and Blomqvist. They both gained 5 positions each. Blomqvist started 10th, Prost started 21st. Next biggest gainer is Yama from 15th to 12th. Next biggest gainer is Dodo, who's gained 2 positions. Derek Days has the fastest lap for Ireland with a 1:30.5. Biggest loser is John Nielsen, going from 5th down to 10th. Sainz and Senna both lost 3 positions each. They started 11th and 12th. And next biggest loser is Terrell, dropping down to 18th position. Okay, quite a lot of changes now after the pit stops, as the pit stops tend to affect the races quite a lot now. And Nelson Piquet's fast man on the channel 117.9. He's clearly charging to try and catch Nigel Mansell. Nielsen and the Doan try to catch Mikola, who sits in 9th for Finland. Okay, lots of drama in the pit stops there, but it's affected. So the point didn't affect the top 4 as expected, but it has affected quite a bit of those far behind in the points positions. With Blomqvist going from beginning at the points to being in 5th with a 5-second gap between him and Alessandro Nannini, who sits in 6th. Really good job there for Blomqvist and the Swedish team. Gerhard Berger is now the fastest man of the channel at 1:13.7. But I think it's over a second faster than Derek Dana last time, so Gerhard Berger pushing hard to see if he can try and probably snag second off the Irishman and take advantage of the fact Nigel Mansell is still stuck in 7th position. And Gerhard Berger gets fast lap once again, 6/10 faster than Daniel last time with a 1:17.6. Oh wow, so Gerhard Berger really putting on a charge. He is eager for second place. We're on lap 36 of 50. Meanwhile, say Blomqvist, the gap between him and Nani is coming down, but he gets a 1:18.4. What does Nani do? A 1:18.3, so 10th cut between the two drivers. Nelson Piquet gets fast lap now with a 1:17.5, 8/10 faster than Nigel Mansell in 7th position. That is a really good time there for the Brazilian. Be eager to try and get some points for himself and for the Brazilian team. Car across the line. Garrett Berger 6/10 faster than Derek Daly last lap. However, John Jones was 2/10 even faster than the Austrian. The gap between Berger and Jones is now 3.5 seconds. As Garrett Berger is trying to close in enough and try to get close enough to Derek Daly, see if he can try and find his way through. Okay, that's a PK. Half a second faster than Nigel Mansell, closing the gap on the Brits still. Eager to try and catch and pass Nigel Mansell as we're now in lap 37 of 50. Well, Garrett's closing in on Derek Daly. Now the question is, can he get even closer to be able to overtake him and take second place? And kind of the final car, Garrett Berger, the gap is now down to 6/10 of a second. So Berger's definitely going to be faster than last lap. Oh, okay, 1/10 of a second, but still a 10th to 10th. Oh, but John Jones, 9/10 faster than Garrett Berger than last lap. So John Jones is closing in on the Austrian, which could be a bad sign for Garrett Berger if he lets John Jones get close enough to him. And here we go into the final lap of this race. It is Bernstein well out in front. Now right behind the back, ahead of him is the back marker of George Fauci. He's at the back of the field. Derek Daly is second. Garrett Berger third. John Jones is fourth. We've got a big train led by Blomqvist in fifth. Well, it's not been that many overtakes in this race. It may not be the most exciting race of the season. It certainly will have some championship implications for sure. With Japan 12th and 18th, I think it's fair to say that we will have to say goodbye to them at the end of this round, as they had to get 7th or better to ensure they were going to make the next round. But unfortunately for Japan, it looks like their season is about to come to an end. With Yayama and Terrea just need to finish the final lap of this race, and it'll be the final race of the season. It's a shame to lose Japan, especially when they got both drivers into this race, but unfortunately that's just how the Formulalympics goes. It can be a very close sport in this way, but unfortunately, that is just the name of the game. They had to get 7th better to beat Chile. Unfortunately, Chile are going to win out, and they will make it through at least another 2 rounds. But we'll have the final 2 eliminations. But anyway, Bernstein wins the race here in Japan. Derek Daly will finish the race in second, with Garrett Berger taking the final points by the third. Now we're just going to wait for everyone else to make the way across the finish line. And here we go, that's everyone across the line. Bernstein takes the race win by 6.86 over Derek Daly, with the final point spot going to Garrett Berger in third. John Jones takes 4th for Canada, Stig Blomqvist is 5th, Nani 6th, Mansell 7th, PK 8th, McCullough 9th, John Nielsen gets the final point for Denmark in 10th. Missing out points, Peter Doan 11th, Yayama 12th, Boy Rahal is 13th, Carlos Sainz 14th, Saez 15th, Prost 16th, Thierry 17th, Terrea 18th, Waldegaard 19th, Pierre Chouet is 20th, with Thierry Boutsen, and the final finisher in 22nd is George Fauci. So with those results out of the way, it's now time to check the F1, F2 and the Nations Championship standings. And after the round in Japan, Nigel Mansell still leads the way with 103 points thanks to his 7th place finish, while Gerhard Berger stays in 3rd position despite being on the podium, still not able to get past Michele Alboreto, who is still not allowed to race until the end of the next round. Meanwhile, Bernstein getting his first win in the season, putting him into 4th with 57 points, 3 more than Nelson Piquet, that drops down to 5th, sitting on 54. And jumping down to the F2 division, we've got our first set of drivers that can no longer mathematically win the F2 championship title, as John Winter leads the way by only 4 points ahead of Ricard Patrese, while Danny Sullivan sitting in 4th position, tying with Mikael Eriksson, who is now permanently promoted to the F1 division, sharing 53 points apiece. And last but not least, it's the Nations Championship, and as confirmed, Kenya and Japan will be taking no further part as they have officially been eliminated at this stage of the competition. At the top of the board, the United Kingdom leads by only 5 points ahead of Brazil, while Italy sitting in third with 19 points, with a 14-point gap between them in fourth place, which is Spain, that have failed to score, as they are at risk of losing fourth position. By only 1 point behind them is Austria. So, what are my final thoughts after all that? Well, first of all, I have to apologise for the audio in the F1 race. I think what happened was I knocked the echo setting to be slightly on, which has caused this echoing effect to happen during the commentary, and I didn't know until I started editing this video. But besides the point, with Bernstein getting the win for West Germany, the defending champions finally got something to cheer about, but the problem is they still got a long way to go to try and catch the front runners at the top of the championship standings. But it's the end of the road for Japan and Kenya, as we will no longer see them for the rest of the season, as they have officially been eliminated. With the next 2 rounds will determine who will be the final 2 teams to be eliminated to give us our final 20. I hope you're looking forward to finding out who the final 20 will be, as much as I am, and I will see you over there to find out who that final 20 will be.